Yeah, so as you can tell, I'm pretty happy. How is everybody? But let's not get carried away here. But yeah, the small victory was won today. Small victory. It's a good day. It's a good day. Yeah, it's definitely a good day. Right. Hold the phone. Let's look at some stuff then. Let's get the stuff up, the tweets, the info. Yep. Bonnie Ross is gone. She gone. She's out of there. Hashtag fire343. It's a real thing. See, I'm just drinking it in. I'm just drinking it in at the minute. I'm glad you liked it, man. I'm glad you liked it. I also picked that because it sounds slightly like the Halo 4 music. I don't know if you noticed. Right. So let's get to the business. I need to share screen. This screen. One sec. I don't want that. No, I don't want that one. Get rid of that. Yeah, there we go. Share screen. And share that screen and share. There we go. Just need to answer this message. Right. Okay. Whew. So, as you can see, this is legit. Here's Bonnie Ross's Twitter account. This is totally legit. Who's saying it's bad? It's not bad. This is the greatest. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Regardless of whether this has any impact on whether the game actually gets the ban or there's ever anything that comes of this, even if they just literally they had to acknowledge that they did a shit job and heads literally rolled. This should have happened after Halo 5. Okay, it's fucking a lot. It's too little, too late, but at least they're acknowledging that Bonnie Ross was a complete fucking disaster and a failure. Okay, at least they're acknowledging that now. No, it took them long enough, but all that bullshit about winning fucking like awards and shit when she's done fuck all. That was just making my skin crawl for years. It's like she's done nothing but fuck everything up, and she gets all these fucking awards. Do you know what I mean? So at least now they've got to actually acknowledge that no, actually she fucked up. Even if they're trying to guise it as family reasons, yeah. At least she's gone. Okay, at least even if they're bullshitting and saying it was for quote unquote family reasons, which we're going to get into now. So, while I had hoped to stay with Halo until we released the winter update, I'm letting you know I will be leaving 343 and attending to a family medical issue. Okay. What family medical issue would cause you to leave your entire, employment? Yeah, this is clearly, whether there is a family issue or not. Okay, maybe there is a quote unquote family issue, but that's being used as a crutch to get out the door. Okay, this ain't because of a family issue. She's out because of all the bullshit that's been going on recently. Hashtag fire 343 and all the articles saying 343 are fucked up and they need to go. Exactly. 100%. I'm incredibly proud of the work everyone at 343 Industries has done with Halo Infinite. The Master Chief Collection and the Halo TV series. Okay, well, first of all, Halo Infinite is a fuck up, right? Master Chief Collection was a fuck up. Halo TV series is a fuck up. And then she put much more. Okay, what about Halo 4 and Halo 5? Why not just say Halo here? Why specifically say Halo Infinite, Master Chief Collection, and the Halo TV series? That's literally could be the three worst things that's come out of 343. Anyway. So, it has been an honor to serve alongside the team for the last 15 years and to be part of the universe that I love. I question that she loves Halo. I question that she plays Halo. I question that she has anything to do with fucking Halo because she doesn't fucking play it. I'm totally I totally disagree with that. She doesn't love Halo. That's all utter bollocks. No one that quote unquote loves Halo would turn it into Call of Duty and add microtransactions. Facts. Thank you to everyone in the Halo community for your support. You never had our support. That's why you're gone now. Okay? You never had real support. You had support from people who you paid to support you. Ubernick, Green Skull, Fletch from Ultimate Halo, who now works at 343, Unishek, who was a shill and now works at 343, Alex Wakeford, who was a shill and now works at 343. Those are not real fans. Those are people that work for you. They're not real fans. Halo's future is bright. I can't. Why is Halo's future bright? Okay, if you're the fucking best thing to ever happen to Halo, like you're claiming here, then Halo's future isn't bright, right? I mean, if you're seriously trying to tell me that you leaving Halo's future is bright, well, then you're telling me you're shit. How can Halo's future be bright if you're leaving? If you're supposed to be this fucking like amazing fucking person that saved Halo, like Sean W says. Hey, I'm loving this shit. This is great. You know, I'm just drinking it in, man. I'm literally drinking this in. Okay. Yeah. They seriously need to give Halo to another studio. 343's had infinite chances. They need to give it to another studio. It's only fair. Okay. 343 can work on something else. There's other shitty Microsoft IPs they can work on. So they've got like loads of IPs now. Give them something else to fucking do. Okay, so Halo's future is bright. Yeah, well, question mark on that one. I cannot wait for all of you to experience what we have in store. Well, what you don't have anything in store. The game you don't have co-op. You've got nothing. The game launched with no co-op. No nothing. Split screen co-op cancelled. What do you mean what we have in store? Do you mean literally in the store, as in bunny ears and cat ears? Like in the store? Not in store, in the store. Because there's nothing else in the game. What do you mean what you have in store? You've got shit seasons and generic maps that no one's going to care about, and Forge that literally is in a dead game. That's way overcomplicated. You've got nothing. What do you mean? What you have in store? To cheer alongside you as a fan. Bonnie, you were never a fan. This is bullshit. You were never a fan to begin with. How can you cheer at the Halo TV series and be a fan? The Halo TV series is an abomination to mankind, let alone Halo. It's one of the worst TV shows of all time. Seriously. Never mind Halo, it's just shit, okay? So what do you mean cheer alongside as a fan? No fan is cheering for the death of their franchise. No real fan is supporting The Last Jedi. That's what Halo series is. It's an abomination. Okay? No buts about it. At the Halo World Championship in October. Okay, so why is Bonnie Ross going to be at the Halo World Championship in October if she's out? Dear, oh dear. Bonnie Ross has even admitted in interviews that she never played video games or worked on video games, and she didn't come from a video game background. She's even admitted this in interviews. So why is she claiming to be a fan of Halo? Why claim something that goes against what you've said in the past? It totally goes against what she said in the past, right? So I'm just drinking this in. This was my reaction. What are we saying here? I'm catching up with the chat. Hold on. These streams are getting way too popular. At some point, right, we're going to get to a point where I can't read every comment. And then people are going to start to hate me. We're gonna get to that point soon, boys. But at this rate, She was, I don't know exactly the story, but basically she ended up working for Microsoft, but she wasn't trying to get into video games. She's trying to get into some other department in Microsoft, and they literally put her on this like basketball game or something, and then all of a sudden she was just given Halo. That's basically the Bonnie Ross's fucking story. You want to go and look up all the Bonnie Ross interviews on YouTube before they get taken down. There's loads of them. And listen to everything she says, if you can stand to do so. I have unfortunately listened to every one. Yeah, well, that's where we're going now. So that's what we're getting into now. But first, we need to go through some stuff, some tweets and stuff. So let's leave that screen up for a second, and I can drag the rest over. So what am I up to here? Okay, so Joe Staten played the game. He said, Bonnie, I am forever grateful to you for inviting me back to Halo. You'll always be part of this hopeful and heroic universe we love. Once a Spartan, always a Spartan. I wish you and your family all the best, alluding to the fact that the thing was about her family being, sick or whatever. All right. So that was very political. Nothing interesting there. And shitty. This is an interesting one. So shitty Halo takes. All right, I know this is big fanboy on Twitter, and we see him posting. He's a bit like Sacred Icon and whatever, where he just posts nonsense all the time, right? Listen to this. Wow, that's nuts. I did not see this coming. People were making her the whipping boy for Infinite's issues, when most of the blame fell on other people, most likely. Met her and Kiki briefly at Outpost Discovery, and they seem really nice. To me, that's code for he's like a pilot or a forerunner for the game, right? So one of the pilots or forerunners must be running these shitty Halo takes Twitter, as far as I'm concerned. But we have no idea which one it is, right? Keep that bit for now. This is a good one. I won't even comment on that one. I'm just drinking it in, man. We got this, we got that. We need that. Right. Okay. Then you got the shills worried. The shills are worried. Ubinix girlfriend here. Please be kind just once. Let her go without making cruel remarks. If she is leaving for family and medical issue, which is bullshit, she doesn't need hate. It's a game. Please be kind. Okay. Well, she was very kind to you, letting you shell for the game, you and Ubinix there, and paying you money to do so. Where was the Sean Dubs? Sean Dubs. One sec, because I don't want to dox my shit. Don't want to dox my shit. There we go. So Sean Dove said, thank you, Bonnie Ross, for having saved Halo when Microsoft wanted to can it, and thanks for her work over the years. Okay, first of all, this is all bogus. Okay, this is from something that Bonnie Ross said. and that Microsoft put out there, okay? This is to make Bonnie Ross look like the good guy. This whole thing is fabricated by Microsoft, okay? This whole story, okay? Bonnie Ross saved Halo, Microsoft, all right? Bonnie Ross saved Halo because Microsoft wanted to can it. Okay, this is the company that wanted Bungie to crank out more and more Halo games to make more and more money year on year. Okay, they wanted to have Halo Wars. They wanted to branch out into other things. Okay, and you're telling me that because Bungie was leaving, they were going to can Halo, their biggest franchise? No, that's a story cooked up to make Bonnie Ross look like the good guy because they want Bonnie Ross to look like an angel or that she actually deserves to be in the position she's in because they want to promote this like diversity shit where, oh, look, strong women saved Halo. This is all bullshit, marketing bullshit by the corporation, right? This is what it's always been. But idiots like this goofball over here believe the fucking bullshit. Yo, 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 bro, yo. Morons. These people are morons. So, moving on. What else have I got here? Sure, I had some more. Let me just make sure. Okay, we're going to move on. Hidden Xperia said something as well, like some bullshit, but I'm not interested. We're going to move on to who is taking over. Okay, now let's point this out. Not only is Bonnie Ross gone, but a whole load of new faces are taking over. What's LNG said? Someone just sent me. Yeah, again, he's bought the fucking corporate bullshit. Shouldn't need to be said, but don't celebrate someone's family health scares, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this is bullshit, you moron. That's not true. And even if it is true, that ain't the reason she's lost her job. Okay? How many times did we see Fire 343 over the last week? How many articles did we see in legitimate fucking video game media about 343 fucking up? How many YouTube videos? How many people on Twitch talking about it? How many people just on the fucking street, on the fucking Halo waypoint, on the fucking Xbox itself, under 343's fucking garbage game, in the comments were saying, get these fuckers away from the game, Fire 343. How many times have we seen that over the last week? And you're telling me this is for a fucking health scare, family health scare? Yeah, of course. That's corporate bullshit, like someone said in the fucking chat. Okay, that's bullshit. And we all know that. Good Lord. So, let me get my StreamYard back so I can see. Yeah, this is what we're going to get into here because we're going to go through who is taking over. Yeah, exactly. These guys are taking over, right? So we got Brian Koski, if I'm reading that right, will become GM of the franchise, and Elizabeth Van Wyk will oversee business and operations. Okay, so these guys are taking over the Halo franchise. Okay, as of today, as of right now, or perhaps even sooner than now. Okay, perhaps even before that last fucking thing. But as of today, these fuckers are taking over. So now we're going to look into who the fuck are these guys? And can they do any better of a job? Can they do worse than Bonnie Ross? Now, the problem is that Bonnie Ross hired a bunch of goofs. Okay, Bonnie Ross was in charge of hiring and firing, and she had the fucking all she cares about is diversity. So she's got a diversity hiring policy. So she's going to hire people who are not necessarily fit for the role, who can't actually code and build video games. Now, from what I'm reading about this guy is he actually did code and build video games. So that's a good start. Okay. So maybe this guy didn't work on Halo Infinite. He worked on the MCC. Okay. As in recently. So I don't know where he's come from, but I haven't only skimmed through. So we're going to go into that now. So, here is the other tweet. So we'll leave that for now. I might need that. Studio veteran, head producer will become studio head of 343, leading the ongoing development of Halo Infinite and the Master Chief Collection, as well as future games. Okay. And then this. Okay. And now we're going to look at what the fuck is going on with that. And that's we'll get to here, right? So this is going to be the new studio head of 343 Industries. This is the guy that replaces Bonnie Ross. Okay. Yes, Bonnie Ross was fired. Yes, that's the title of the video. Yes, she was 100% fired, sacked, removed, out the door, booted, removed, gone, finished. So Bonnie Ross is not coming back. That's it. Her time is over, much like the Queen. Okay? Bonnie Ross is gone from Halo, okay? It's over. You know, the bullshit can only last so long, and, you know, reality is caught up with Bonnie Ross, okay? All this fucking bullshit she's done, hiring the wrong people, hiring a bunch of people who can't actually make video games, okay? Running the company into the fucking ground. Yes, Spartan Ranger. Yes, yes. So we're going to talk about this guy. Out with the old, in with the new. This is now this is the what's this guy called? I forget his name already. I can't even read that. So this is one of the guys. Is this the guy that's the head? Because I'm getting confused now. I'm pretty sure he said he was here. He will become the head of 343 Industries. This guy, okay? Can anybody pronounce that? Perry? Is it Perry? I can't pronounce that second name. Perry. Yeah, Perry. Yeah, Perry. What? Yeah, Perry. I'd say. But I'm British, so what do I know? I don't know. I can't spell. I can't pronounce that name. I can't pronounce that. Yeah, it's definitely. It's not Pierre though. That doesn't look like Pierre. I wouldn't say Pierre. It's like Perry to me. I might be wrong though. It might be Pierre. Funny spelling. Yeah. Which we're getting onto now. Yeah. I know it's French. So is it Pierre? How do you pronounce it? I can't. Just because it's French doesn't mean it's like, oh yeah, it's French. You're an idiot. No, I don't know how to pronounce it. I never said it. I never said that. Just because it's French doesn't mean I know how to pronounce it, does it? That's exactly what I was saying. I can't pronounce it. I can read it. I can see what it says. I'm not blind. But they're probably going to do that anyway because they did that with Gears 5. This is what I'm saying. Half of that shit, if not all of that shit, will be free at some point. This has been done before by this company. I think I'm doing a good job at pronouncing it. I think it's Perry. P-I-E-R-R-E, Perry. That's how I'm reading it. Now, it might be like say Pierre or something. Pierre? Pierre? Could be Pierre. No? Oui? Merci, s'il vous plaît? No? Anyway. So this is the new head of 343. Okay. This is an old article though from 2018. So we're going to find out what this guy's all about. Yes, Glitch, but you're not here to tell us how to pronounce Pierre or Perry or whatever that says. I'm guessing it's Pierre. I'm starting to think it's Pierre, but that's not how I've seen it Pierre spelt before. So I don't know. Wait, hold on. Right, we'll come back to that. That's not urgent. Right, let's get into this before we all fall asleep. Okay, interested in working at 343 Industries, looking for a first job, a fresh start career, advancement. No, especially not in 2018. We're always looking for great new minds and ideas to join our family. And in this regular series of staff spotlights, we'll give you some insight into what it's like to work for one of the biggest game franchises in the business. I'd argue it's not one of the biggest game franchises in the business, anymore, because you ruined it. Look, they can't even spell it right. See, so it's not just me. This is like that Double Dragon front screen from the NES, where it's literally wrong on the front screen. Well, 2 seconds after writing his name correctly, they write it incorrectly. He's head of publishing and has been with Halo for less than a year. So this is 2018. So this guy joined the company in 2018. So that's new blood right there. This is new blood right here, okay? This guy joined the company in 2018. So that's promising. He hasn't been there for Halo 5. So, that's a good start, I would feel. Why are you saying, oh, holy shit, oh no? What? Well, hold the phone. Maybe Joe Staten doesn't want the job. So let's continue. But in short, he's been tasked with one of the most delicate and challenging things we've ever done as a studio, trying to take the gargantuan Halo the Master Chief Collection and not only fix some of its slippery and sometimes difficult to reproduce issues, but also make a fan favorite feel new again and bring it to full potential parts. Remaster on the Xbox console. Right. Okay. So this guy is like fixing the MCC. That's been where he's come from. Okay. So he's been given the task of fixing MCC. That's what I'm saying. So this guy didn't even work on Halo Infinite. You see what I'm saying? So they're going outside of regular 343, if you like, and they're saying, well, this guy's doing a good job with the MCC, or so somebody believes. And they have taken him from that team, and now he's overseeing Halo Infinite and MCC because Bonnie Ross is a fucking disaster. Okay? Are we all with me so far? Perry or Pierre, whoever the fuck his name is, did not come into this task blind, but rather with relish and gusto. Well, that's just, spin. Pierre is a veteran of a huge range of games and challenges and has worked on many of those, the most famous names in the industry. We sat down to Pierre to talk about the past, and we're attacking the present and even a couple of hints about the future. Can you tell us what you were tasked with at 343 Industries? I'm following the guidelines, of course, of my job description, which is the responsibility of Halo Legacy products right up to not including Halo 5 Guardians, which is still technically a quote-unquote current game. So I'm focused on trying to find intelligent ways of bringing that rich legacy of games and experiences to new players. Obviously, one of my biggest tasks was the recent update to Halo Master Chief Collection. I'm also doing one of the two fairly major things that I can talk about today, but they're taking up a lot of my team's time. I run a team of very talented individuals. That's debatable. Technical and art folks who are making direct contributions to MCC, while our 4K update to the game is largely problematic. No, program. What? Programmatic. Fucking hell. Programmatical. Yeah. There were new assets that needed to be designed for the UI that better take advantage of the fidelity afforded by 4K resolution. However, my team's level of talent and frankly experience means that they have a very different level of partnership with our various external partners, speaking to them at their own level and sharing tremendously deep understanding of the MCC's components. Okay, so he's talking about subcontractors there. Okay. Yeah, but we're going to give this guy a chance because I haven't read this yet. Okay. Come on, give him a chance. Come on, give him a chance. We haven't read it yet. Okay, sometimes at Microsoft, I think this is the question. Sometimes at Microsoft, when we interview candidates, we can tell tell them what the specific products they'll be working on is, especially if it's unannounced. We allow these blah 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 smart folks to What's the question? How was it interviewing, knowing that you and your team would be tasked with improving MCC and addressing its issues? Right, all that's just utter bollocks. Like, in many aspects, it was something I've done throughout my career. A great example would be I attacked problem spaces on FIFA and other titles, but for me, MCC was a no-brainer. Halo is legendary. That's good. That's a good sign. So having the ability to work on anything Halo related for some people in the industry is a dream come true. Okay, so like he could just be waffling bullshit and making stuff up to make himself, sound better in the ears, or to get over with people. But that's positive. Positive comments there. Even if that work requires attacking problems first, but more importantly, for me during the interview, I thought that this would be unique because I would have to focus on making the game better. Instead, I'd be tasked with exposing underlying qualities which were already there, but sometimes obscured by bugs or implementation methods. So the interesting part for me was getting to focus on servicing both existing and new players. I thought all my games are done. They're excellent, spectacular games. I have to focus on those games could be improved and reimagined and how they'd be exposed to players. That's extremely interesting to me. So this is obviously before the game was released on PC. So maybe this guy had something to do with that. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, hey, I don't trust anybody. My name's Stone Cold Steve Austin. DTA, don't trust anybody. That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Where was I? Here. A lot of work in identifying the smaller, more subtle issues, such as control input or screen response times, was already done for me by the team. They continue to identify and think about small as well as big issues with the game. One of the things I did when I started to introduce former professional Halo player to our team, so that even when we went about our business fixing underlying matchmaking, netcode, blah, 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 was also focused on making sure that even in 4K, these games will play the way they were originally intended to, or at least get as close to physically possible. Things even dedicated players might not have noticed. Okay, I don't think you've come anywhere close, but let's keep going. Next question. Your team also increased and improved fidelity with 4K HDR for Xbox One X on top of games that already were presented in high fidelity and blah, blah, blah. What kind of challenges did that present? We especially, for 4K version of the game, we're sitting on over 600 nameplates and icons for game. Hold on a minute. So your solution to that was to add more nameplates to the game? Because that's what you did. So if it's an impossible task to start with, why would you add more? Gamer tags that needed to be resed up because they wouldn't scale naturally or well. So tedious, time consuming as it was for our team. So your brilliant idea was to add more. We went in and hand-tuned each and every asset to make it look the best in 4K. It's not meaningless work. Almost every TV on sale right now is 4K. Yes, but the game runs in 1080p, doesn't it? So you didn't need to make it 4K. But what you could have done is fix the bugs and not made it 4K, and it still would have run in 1080p. So, the game that doesn't work in 4K versus the game that doesn't work in 1080p, it's still a game that doesn't work. Moving on. And we have players who will be looking out for that kind of thing. Who wants to? I don't agree with that. Who cares about playing an old ass game in 4K? More, you want it to work first, foremost. Okay. But judging by the reactions from players, are surprised and pleased to know beautiful aspects of the game against blah, 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 blah. So there's coming. Okay. Next question. Some of MCC's past issues were related to some launch period, API, and platform choices that have changed and improved dramatically since 2014. Are you using those improvements? The entire collection is over 70 gigabytes in total. What is it now, guys? Like 200? 70 gigabytes? It's way more than 70 gigabytes now. Somebody go on. Somebody who's got MCC installed on their Xbox or PC, tell me how much it is now, because it's way more than 70 gigabytes, and this is 2018. Okay, way more. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. It's way more. I think it's more than that. And considering the hard drive space and download bandwidth are premium in many user scenarios, we decided to make it go up more. No. We wanted to make sure that players could pick and choose the aspects of MCC. Oh, this is the custom installation bullshit. So this is again, that is a useless feature. So this guy's paraded over one of the most useless features in the MCC, which is custom installation. Either have the game or don't have the game. So custom installation was a worthless feature, so I'm not liking what this guy's saying here. That is a completely worthless feature, waste of time putting in the game. Okay, and then the only reason they added that was so they could then split it up, so they could release games one at a time on the PC. You can't release games one at a time on the PC if the freaking games are not coming, if you can't download one game at a time, right? So that was proven to be a load of bullshit. The reasoning behind that, it was nothing to do with space. It was to do with putting the game on the PC, okay, and releasing it one by one like a series. So that's utter bollocks, what he's saying there. We also see in the data that some aspects of the title are more popular. Well, some aspects of the title are more popular than others. No shit. So you're telling me that more people like Halo 3 than Halo 4? Who would have guessed? So if, for example, you only want to play Halo 3 campaign, we want to give you the option to just download the game components, blah, 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 intelligent delivery, blah, blah, fucking blah, fucking blah. How long have you worked in the game industry and what are your experiences? Okay, so this is the guy's backstory here. So this is the real important stuff here. I've spent 22 years in the game industry. Okay, that's good. Okay, it's not like Bonnie Ross, who just turned up a day before and then worked on a basketball game for Microsoft that no one's ever heard of. I started on Sega Mega Drive, Genesis in the US, CD language tester team working on translations of most of Japanese content. I swiftly moved up through the organization and became a producer adapting content from Japan. I had to choose from 15 games at the time, and the one I picked was a soccer game, which is something I'm passionate about and I've returned to a couple of times in my career. That soccer game was very successful, and I think I know Electronic Arts, so they hired me to come and work on FIFA for 7 years, as well as NHL hockey series. Eventually, I felt pigeonholed myself, so I branched out, becoming a creative producer for THQ, exercising more creative muscle in the process, and I also got a chance to work on MotoGP car franchises. Racing being another one of my passions. Eventually, I was offered a job at Atari, one of the most storied brands in gaming history, obviously, but not at the time. But at the time, we're having a rough go. Oddly, the challenge of that appealed to me, but it also ended up being pivotal because it was my first chance to work on games as a service mobile, both of which were relatively, I'm guessing he's saying niche, but that's not what it says there at the time. But obviously they became hugely important aspects of the gaming industry. That's not right either. Into a short stint at, saying segued. Is that how you spell segued? That doesn't look right to me. Square Enix as an executive producer, working on their free-to-play games and then onto PlayStation, like I said, 22 years. Yeah, but you spent half of your time working on sports games, not first-person shooter games. You've got no experience with that. And then the other half you spent working on mobile phone games and free-to-play games. So your experiences with everything we hate about video games. Literally, exactly. This is what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying. This guy is another by the numbers guy. Okay. His experience, yeah, he's got a lot of experience, but what's his experience in? Working on FIFA games and free to play mobile games. That's our guy. Why are you telling me this? Why are you telling me this? We're reading the article. Look on the bright side. Bonnie Ross didn't work on any FIFA games. She worked on one basketball game for Microsoft. She didn't work on any games for THQ or anything. Okay. So this guy at least has some experience. Okay. Right. How has gaming changed from your perspective over the years? I remember the old game boxes, thick manuals, beautiful artwork. But when you started the game itself, it was pixelated and looked nothing like the promise on the box. Okay. But that gave the player the opportunity to fill in those gaps with imagination, graphics, sound, etc. in regard. Games have evolved into something different as a book is from a movie. I don't know what he's talking about there. Like, because games have always been another fucking medium. So I don't know what you mean. Different as a book is from a movie. I don't see how a game from so let's take a game from like the Nintendo Entertainment System. Okay, you push buttons, you move left and right, and shit on the screen happens. That still happens now in games. Yes, that's the fucking real fucking like basic example, but it's still a video game. Okay, we ain't like when it goes to like VR, like real VR, not this fake bullshit VR like we see with the Oculus Rift and all that bullshit, which isn't real VR. Okay, I'm talking about real VR, where you actually walk around and shit in the game, like you're actually there. Okay, that's next level. That's when you've transcended gaming because you're no longer holding a controller. Okay, let me catch up with some fucking remarks here. Yeah, we're not done yet. We've had a small victory today. Okay, but I'll take a small victory. Comparing games to movies, yeah. Interesting. No, this is really happening. Exactly, that's true as well. Games like Streets of Rage, people still talk about now. No one's going to be talking about Halo Infinite in fucking 10, 15, 20 years. No one's going to care because the games suck dick. Unless you're like Azoli, who like sucks the dick of shit games. Okay? Don't they all? Don't they all? This is the problem. Okay, you shouldn't wait for diversity inclusion. You should wait for getting the best people to make the game. Okay. Okay, so now the player doesn't need to inject as much imagination because these worlds are rendered in photorealistic quality, debatable, or exquisitely stylized. Well, then that goes against it. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. Players can become more immersed and use their intellectual connection in different ways. At one point, I was supposed to work on a soccer manager game for EA, something like Championship Manager, which was literally a kind of spreadsheet. The descriptions of the soccer games you managed were simply text running across a banner. The player had to imagine the drama and tension of the games, since it was never literally displayed. So the intense fidelity does more than make the games look better. So that was like that was just bullshit. Like what I don't know what he said there. It was all nonsense. Okay. What is your favorite game of all time? Civilization 4. Okay, that's not too bad, guys. That's not too bad, guys. I mean, this guy should be making Halo Wars if he likes Civilization. Okay, so if they make a Halo Wars 3, I think we're in good hands here. If you like Civilization, because Civilization's a good series, guys. I mean, I don't know if you've ever played it, but it's pretty good. So I mean, I haven't played Civilization 4, hands up, but I have played Civilization games, and they're all pretty good. I would agree with that statement also. He really is. Sid Meier really is a genius. Yeah, I would go with that. Yeah, Civilization's been a great series, and it's been going for a long time. So yeah, I would agree with that statement. Okay, it's a bit done to death now, but it's always been a good series. Was there? But Civ 4 was where I thought he hit the zenith of player involvement. I'm German, so he's not. You see, he's not French. He's German. You had it all wrong, guys. It says it right there. He's German from birth. I'm conditioned to love strategy. I'm conditioned to love strategy. Hi. Ein Zweig. Ein Zweig. Real time included games like Panzer Commander, and I've talked about how cool Halo Space Combat game. Oh yeah, here we go, make it happen. I was literally saying this the other day on a live stream, right? That would be cool. A Halo Space battle game, real time, fucking RTS. Real time strategy. That would be cool. Know what I'm saying? With all the different, you got your pelicans and your long swords, and you got your phantoms, and Banshees and all your fucking big capital ships. You got the Infinity. You got big Covenant cruisers smashing into each other. That is cool. Okay, so that is cool. Come on. If he's going to come in and make that game, that's going to be cool. Let make it happen. Because this guy is the top of 343 now. So even if he, talks to Creative Assembly or whoever, maybe Atriox could be in this game, because we didn't get the closure. So maybe they could incorporate the beginning of Halo Infinite into the game, because there's a big ass space battle and then the Infinity gets blown up. That could be the story that fills in the blanks of Halo Infinite. That's, you see? And you could have the Guardians, Cortana's like fucking shit up, Guardians fucking involved, and you have to fight Guardians with the capital ships, and there's all cool stuff here. That's cool. This guy's on the money with that. You got to give him something. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Only this would be an RTS game. So this would be like Halo Wars, but with spaceships. That's a cool idea. Okay. I was saying that the other day. So it's the perfect setting for something like that. Maybe one day we can make something like that. Like that is the quote, right? Okay. Like if this guy can pull that off, okay, that's a huge win. Okay. If nothing else, if he can make it good, right? And that's it. Okay. So we ended on a positive note. So I'm not overly excited, but at least Bonnie Ross is gone. And I've never heard Bonnie Ross say anything that cool in my entire life, right there. So that's a start. Okay. So we're just gonna have to wait and see, guys. But don't get your hopes too high there, because this guy isn't exactly my first choice for the job. But how can he be worse than Bonnie Ross? He can't be worse than Bonnie Ross. That's impossible. That's literally impossible. Yeah, true story. But Halo 4 did that as well. Halo 4 had a flying mission, and there was only one mission. No, that's not going to happen. It's definitely not going to happen. What are you talking about? How have I jinxed it? How have I jinxed it? This guy's going to do well, or he's going to do shit, regardless of what I say. The problem with Halo 4, the space mission, is that if you play it in co-op and somebody crashes, the screen shakes and there's a bright light, and then everybody crashes because you can't see what the fuck is going on. In solo, the space mission's cool. It's like the start of the last level. It's kind of cool. But if you play it in co-op, it's really annoying because you can't see a fucking thing. The Halo 4 one's like a Star Fox level. That's what it's like, where you have to shoot the turrets and like weave through the fucking spaceship. Or like the trench run from Star Wars. That's what they're going for. What are you talking about, man? This guy literally just got the job. Okay, we're not going to see a game for years here. Do you know what I'm saying? So anything's possible here. How do you know Joe Staten turned it down? He might not have been offered the job. Well, I'm just saying, like, he might not have wanted the job. I don't know. Do I? That man's unhappy because he's a fucking idiot. Like he always has been. A moron. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. This is beyond overdue. Yeah, because the guy literally is saying about a space game. Like I was literally saying that before he said it. Well, not before he said it because this is from 2018. But I said that in one of my previous live streams recently that they could make like a space type game, and that'd be cool. So all right, we can close that now. So, is there anybody that wants to ask me anything or discuss anything? Or does anybody want to come into the stream and chat live on air? Because I can open it up. I can put the link in the thing and you can jump in like this. You can just click that and then come join. Well, you don't have to come in for long. You know, I'm just offering it out. You don't have to stay as long as you want. It is the same map. That's exactly what it is. It's the same. It's literally copy and paste. It's like a Skyrim map or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or Assassin's Creed. No, Crimson's not available. That's why I'm going solo. I agree. We do. More people need to go. Okay, Fletch needs to go from Ultimate Halo because he's a shill. Alex Waitford needs to fucking go. Unishat needs to fucking go. These are all shills that were given jobs. Sketch needs to fucking go. He's fucking hopeless. There's Frank O'Connor. What the fuck does he do? Seriously, what the fuck does he do? A lot of dead weight needs to be cut. That's the first thing this guy needs to do. Get rid of a bunch of useless fuckers. Oh shit. Get rid of that. There we go. My thoughts on COD. Why do people ask me that? Who cares about COD? Get Atman on. Atman's not going to join this. Oh. How long have we been streaming for? 1 hour. Just over. Competitive with the fucking soup of the day. Let's get rid of some of these. We don't need these. You can read my notifications. Okay. Shut these down then. Marty O'Donnell. I don't know, man. I don't think he wants to talk to me. Pornhub tab? Where? What Pornhub tab? I don't even use Pornhub. It's a hard fucking job. What's your thoughts on people that say cosmetics don't affect gameplay? I answered that very recently on Twitter. Basically, they're a bunch of fucking idiots. I'll get Spartan Ranger in first. Hang on, let's see what we got here. Hang on, let me think now. Right, one sec. I need to put my headphones in, otherwise it'll echo. Oh. Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
Is it working?
Yeah, I just got to answer a question. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. Let me just answer this question. So, Lemon says, what are your thoughts on people saying cosmetics don't affect gameplay and you can still play the game? Because for me, cosmetics kind of give some people incentive to play and get good. Okay. So my thing is, it's fucking dumb because the whole game ends up becoming about microtransactions to make money. So they neglect everything else in the game and they just focus on store content like cat ears. And then everything else of the game is just like, well, who cares if we make more maps? Because more maps isn't going to make us any more money. But what will make us more money is some fucking garbage in the store. Like, I don't know, a fucking Spartan with a fucking Scottish kilt on or something. That's going to make us more money. So let's put that in the game. Well, let's not put any fucking content in the game. This is the problem. So everybody's saying like, "Oh, cosmetics don't matter. It's not ruining the game." Is utter bollocks because the whole fucking game focuses on that. So you can.
I think you're absolutely right there.
I mean, you can comment on that, or you can come what you wanted to say if you wanted to say something specifically.
Well, I mean, I just miss when cosmetics kind of reflected on skill. Like, if you saw someone wearing recon, you'd sort of shit yourself. Now it's just like, oh, you just grinded the battle pass.
Yeah. Or you had to get to a certain rank, or you had to like jump through a bunch of hoops, literally.
Yeah.
Get that, to get. There was always, or you get 1,000 gamer score, you get the sword on your back, stuff like that.
Yeah, like it would show like dedication, not just commitment, if that makes sense.
Exactly. And now it's all just like, well, whoever's got the most money, whoever's more of an idiot.
Yeah. Like when you just see like someone just caked in cosmetics, you know that they're just a whale with a big wallet.
They're the worst person in the entire world, and you just don't want to be their friend. Stay away from that guy. And then you don't even feel like playing the match because it's like, I feel like I've already beat this guy in real life. Like I won at life already. So
yeah, you have the moral high ground.
This game doesn't even matter now because I already won at life. Whereas before you'd join and be like, oh, this guy's like actually got the fucking sword and I haven't. So this guy's actually cool. Something I'm trying to aspire to do is to get the sword. So this is cool. Like this guy's cool. Now he's just like, well, he spent all his fucking money on cat ears. So now I'm like, I don't want to even know this guy. I don't even want to be around this guy.
I mean, it's just revolting seeing those cat ears. They don't have any place in the game.
No. It depends what country you're in, doesn't it? In my country, it's 18. So yeah, you can drink in my country.
I think it's like 21 in America.
Exactly. So it depends what country you're referring to. Yeah, that we could talk about that. That is bullshit, man. Fortnite is that's one of the worst games of all time.
Yeah, I've
Legit.
seen like adverts for fucking Indiana Jones being added. Darth Vader is like, stop, please. It physically hurts to see my favorite characters just being stripped of their souls and being ported into this children's game.
It's the same fucking gameplay as well. Nothing even is any different. Like, oh, you can like fly for 2 seconds, or Superman or something. It's like, yeah, it's the same game. He pulls out a gun and shoots somebody in the face. Like Superman wouldn't shoot somebody in the face. It's dumb.
I mean, like the people who keep playing that game, they're just sort of bound to it now. They've just poured too much money into it, so they can't leave it now. They're just
but at the same time, they buy everything that comes out and then use everything that
comes
out.
No, it's sort of
and all
it's
the
a
shit
vicious circle.
And all the shit they've already used becomes worthless over like the course of a month. So what's the point? It's like if I bought a skin in that game, let's say I actually like the game, I don't, but let's say I did, and I bought one skin, I'd use that skin for like the rest of my life. I'd never buy another one. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's my mentality. But like, I don't even do that because the game fucking sucks ass.
I think a lot of people just have like really bad spending habits now for some reason.
Yeah. It is a children's game, though, like you say. They're preying on children.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a Nintendo Direct tomorrow as well, so let's see if there's anything good on that.
I've honestly never played a Nintendo game like properly before.
You've never played a Nintendo game?
Well, I mean, I've played like Mario 64 on my phone and Wii U Sports somewhere, but like I've never really gone out of my way to do it properly. I probably should at some point, but like some of them don't really interest me.
Well, it depends, doesn't it? Depends.
I mean, I wouldn't mind playing Breath of the Wild at some point. That looks good.
I still haven't played that. I got it for the Wii U. I still haven't played it.
Oh. Yeah, I emulated it on my phone. Sorry, someone just asked something in the comments section.
Yeah, it is an old game. Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame because you just look at the proper generation that other people were born in.
Yeah, but then you get a game that is an old school game, and then they try and force that shit in there, and it's like, we aren't fucking idiots, so you're not going to get away with that here. And then they don't understand that the game's dead, and like, oh, why? It's because it's a fucking Halo game, you moron. It came out in the fucking glory days. We're not going to fall for this bullshit. It's not
really going to cater. Sorry.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's not rocket science, though, is it? It's like, oh, cater to your audience. Who's your audience? Oh, old fucking...
Yeah, like 30-year-old men.
Exactly. They're not going to fall for this bullshit. They're not going to be like, oh, yeah, Goku's in the game. Let's going to fucking save the fucking Halo. You fucking
I can't
clowns.
wait to put my Fall Guys backpack on my Spartan. That's what I really wanted.
Exactly. That's literally marketing at children who play fucking Fall Guys. Nobody who plays, well, a very small minority of people play MCC who are like 8 years old. The majority of them are fucking old ass guys who just can't let the game go.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Yeah, we'll join the chat then. Yeah, more the merrier. We're opening the stream up now. We got time. You can even rap to the victory music if you want. See, we won.
I mean, I was really surprised to see that they like just removed Bonnie Ross, but I was very happy at the same time.
Oh yeah. Small victory, innit? Small victory.
Yeah.
It's not like we won anything really, but we you know, just the fact they acknowledged that she'd fucked up and got rid of it is enough for me. It's like at least they're now acknowledging that it's a fuck up. Because all this time they've been fucking saying, "Oh,
they were in denial."
They're just pretending nothing was wrong for all these years, and it's like they finally like, yeah, you know what? we're gonna have to let you go, Bonnie.
I just like their reaction.
I know what you said. I know. I imagine it must have been Phil Spencer. I was like, Bonnie, I'm sorry, but you've got to go. I'm sorry, like Bonnie. I know you suck my dick better than anybody, but you've got to go, Bonnie. You've got to go. Okay, I just bought Activision, and I don't give a fuck about Halo. I'm giving it to this guy who we shoot pool together. You know, he's and we're getting rid of you, and you can go do your family or whatever you says you're gonna do.
I bet she pulled the sexism card like almost immediately.
Nah, because it will have come from a position of like, you know, we're not firing you, but you need to fucking get your ass out of here. It'll be like, if you don't fucking go, then you know we're gonna like just hire a hitman and just take you out because we can't deal with the legalese of this bullshit. So you just need to get the fuck out of here. He probably was like a briefcase. It was like, Bonnie, like,
well, Princess Diana,
we've pre-packed your fucking car. You know, your office has been cleaned. It's gone. All your stuff is in the van. Get the fuck out of here. That had to be what happened. Like,
yeah, I mean, it would have been a bit concerning if she went into her office and there's just like this fucking see-through film all over the floor.
Well, like they say, I wish I was a fly on the wall. That's what they say in that fucking office at that fucking time. You know, like I wish I could have seen Bonnie Ross get fired. It would have been like the greatest moment of like all time. You know, I can imagine like going in there. She's like, Phil, why am I here? You wanted to see me? And he's like, I'm sorry, Bonnie. You're fucking out. You're fired. I'm sick of this bullshit, Bonnie. Get the fuck out of here.
It'd be like the Order 66 scene from Star Wars, like, Commander Cody, the time has come. Execute Order 66. And then just start firing all of the fucking shit developers there, like Frank O'Connor and fucking Bonnie Ross.
You're fired. Get out. I don't even know who you are. Get the fuck out of here. And Fletcher's like, what, dude? I didn't do anything. I just got here. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. I mean, she's gone. This is what I'm saying. It's a positive thing. That doesn't mean it's going to do anything, but if we can get a fucking RTS space Halo game out of it, that's got to be a good thing. That's got to be better than whatever the fuck Bonnie Ross is going to do.
I mean, I wouldn't mind getting like another game from a more human perspective as well, like a Marine or an ODST.
See, that's not even that bad because Gears of War is literally in a worse state now than it's ever been, and literally the people running that game are worse than Bonnie Ross. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, the people running that now, because Rod Ferguson's gone and a bunch of people gone. All the community leaders are gone. What's his fucking name? Dana. He was like massive. He was like the community manager guy. He's fucking gone. You had TC Octus. He's fucking gone. And then there's like a load of developers like who left, and like these the new devs are like trying to push all their bullshit now, and it's the worst shit ever. Like, they even ruined Gears 5. So Gears is literally right now in a really bad position. So if Bonnie Ross goes to Gears, you know, that's just like pissing on the bonfire, really. I mean, it's already fucked. It's already fucked. So, you know, RIP. You know what I'm saying? Gears is following the exact same cycles as Halo. It's just they're doing them at different times. So like Gears of War did the live service more first, but then Halo's done free to play. So now Gears will probably do free to play. They're just kind of like doing the same shit that each other's doing and like kind of learning terrible business practices off each other. And
I think it's like that sketch with Mr. Bean where he's copying someone in an exam.
Exactly. It's exactly like that. Yeah. No, half people are not going to know what that is, but yeah, he's like copying it, and the guy keeps like ripping it up and pouring it, throwing it, and he's like, so then he rips it up and throws it. It's like, yeah, that's literally what he's doing, copying someone else's work. But like back and forth, and neither of them know what they're doing.
Such a shame. I mean, in my ideal mind, like there could have been a great future for Halo if it was handled by the fans, like proper fans, not fucking the
Oh
people who
yeah,
just blindly defend 343 or Bungie. Because I mean, there were mistakes made by Bungie, in my opinion,
oh yeah.
like a
Bungie are not
lot of them.
Bungie are not perfect, but at the end of the day, they didn't kowtow to what people said online and shit. They just made the game that they wanted to make. And then if people didn't like it or whatever, they didn't go, oh, let's fucking wreck the game trying to fucking fix it. They stuck to the fucking guns. 343 just fucking like, oh, well, I don't know what they're fucking doing. And then
Yeah,
someone like the pros come out and go, oh, well, we think this gun should only be this, and we don't like the fact that you shoot somebody and then you can punch them, and then they change it. But Bungie'd never do that. They'd be like, no, fuck yourself off, get good, see you later.
yeah,
It's not fucking made for you. Most worst case scenario, they just take the gun out of competitive. They just take the gun out. They wouldn't change the
yeah.
gun.
Or the elites, for example, with the player models,
Yeah, they just
can't go
take.
into competitive with elites.
They just take them out. That's all they do. They wouldn't say, "Oh well, we'll change the gun for you." It's like, no, they wouldn't fucking do that.
And they were still like capable of listening to criticism. You just look at like the transition from Halo 2 to 3. They didn't just entirely focus on the Arbiter for like a ridiculous amount of levels, that he was just there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like say, to me, Halo 3 is not as good as Halo 2 in a lot of ways. Like a lot of things they fucked up on. But it's still like 1,000 times better than
Yeah,
anything
it's leagues
343.
better.
And then Halo Reach and Halo ODST. People like to throw these games under the bus constantly, and it's like, what planet are you from? Like these games are like legendary games. Like we're gonna go to the grave never having played a game with as much content as Halo Reach in it. That's like the peak of gaming. That will never be topped. That's sad.
Yeah.
We're all of us here. Listen to this now. All of us. None of us ever will ever play a game with that much content ever again in our lives. Fact. So prove me wrong. The company's got to prove me wrong. They can't. Nobody's going to prove me wrong. Because it's not about content. It's about cat ears now.
Yeah, it's about how much money you can just drain from people.
It's over.
It's not about the sales anymore. It's about like just purchases, I guess. Just individual purchases.
Yeah, why sell a map pack that you've got to create and craft and make amazing so that people go, oh yeah, I want to spend the £8 or whatever it is to buy 3 maps because they're fucking amazing and I have to play those like now. Or why don't we just sell cat ears for £8? That takes literally zero effort to make. And I stand by it. Like these idiots of Kill Gaming, these people that buy them, they're the worst scum of the universe.
Yeah, they certainly play a role when it comes to blaming people.
Yeah, and then they don't take any accountability, even though they like Azoli takes zero accountability. Oh well, Halo 5 had a good fucking microtransaction system. It's like that's why there is a microtransaction system, because you're retarded ass buying it. No accountability. Why is it there? Because people buy the shit. So if you buy the shit, you cause an effect. You killed the game, and yet he's still like, well, Halo Infinite sucks. I don't understand what happened. Halo 5 was much better. Yeah, because you bought the shit in Halo 5, you moron. So then they put more in this. There wouldn't be a store if you didn't buy the shit in Halo 5. It's not rocket science. It's not even a difficult concept to understand. Even if you disagree with me, it's still not difficult fucking concept to understand.
And like the way they behave with the people who just criticize them is just ridiculous. To say, oh, you just can't enjoy anything. Oh, they need to monetize the game somehow. They just come up with these ridiculous like justifications when companies just don't care about them.
Yeah, well, this is it. But like, it's bullshit because the fucking company, like the money, they don't need that money. They literally don't need that money. Halo is one of the biggest franchises of all time. They could literally just sell a $60 game. That's all they have to do, and they would make billions. They don't need, like, even if it's sold less than Halo 5, they're still going to make billions. They don't need that money. It's literally bullshit. You're talking about it like it's fucking Splitgate and it's fucking literally a garbage piece of shit game. Then you can argue like, oh, it needs fucking microtransactions or some bullshit. Maybe, but not fucking Halo. Not an established franchise with millions of people that just go out and buy it. That's retarded.
Didn't need to buy your fucking color schemes in Halo 1 to fucking Reach, and they performed quite well.
Exactly. They sold more copies of those games. It's all bullshit, man.
People are talking about Clamber. I mean, I personally don't like it.
Nobody
I understand why it's in the game, but I just don't like it as a mechanic.
Climber just ruins all the maps because you just fucking dead easy to climb fucking behind people and stuff. Whereas before you'd have to go up the stairs, which had choke points. You've killed all your choke points. Yeah, but then you've damaged your health. So there's a risk
involved.
Yeah, risk reward, isn't it? And all sorts of stuff like that. You know, now it's all get the overshield first, plan your attack. I've got the overshield. Now I'm going to do my grenade jump. Now I'm going to come up behind the tower. Now it's just press A. Real exciting move there that you've done to get behind me there. Just press A. That's if he doesn't fucking phase straight through you when he tries to hit you in the back. Just miss.
While you're trying to comprehend who's on your team and who isn't.
Exactly. There is no broader audience, though. It doesn't exist. This is what I'm saying. There is no broader audience. Who are the broader audience? Who the fuck are they? They don't exist.
I mean, I think there's like a casual audience for the campaigns and like the multiplayer. They weren't just completely dedicated, but I mean, even then, they don't just accept any fucking bullshit from 343.
The people playing Halo now are the same people that were playing Halo 5. And they're the same people that were playing Halo 4 with the same people that were playing Halo Reach. There's nobody playing Halo now that's new. Show me where they are. Show me the Twitch channels. Show me the YouTube channels. Where are they? There's nobody. They're all old fogies like fucking Green Skull, Uber Nick, who's been playing since Halo 5. You got fucking Isn't Xperia. Where are the new channels? Where are they? If they're supposed to be like this great fucking following, they're all the same jabronis from Halo 5, all these paid shills. There's no new people. And they're paid to play it. They don't even like the shit. They're paid. They do it for the money. They don't even care.
Yeah. Part of that weird Illuminati ring, the Forerunners.
The Forerunners. Then you got the pilots. And then you got the Forge Council, who were the biggest tossers of the bunch. Fucking Duquesne, who fucking sold his kid out over Peppa Pig.
Wait, what? All I remember is his channel being nuked by YouTube.
Duquesne posted on Twitter. Maybe I can find it. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I saved it. I can't show it anyway because YouTube doesn't allow you to show pictures of kids anyway, does it? For some reason.
I mean, there are weird people.
Duquesne posted. Well, this is it. But why would you post a picture of your kid on Twitter then?
Yeah.
He posted.
I really want to do that.
Duquesne posted a picture on Twitter. Peppa Pig was coming to Game Pass. He posted a picture of his kid with a controller, and he said, "This is my kid's first game, Peppa Pig. Thanks, Xbox." It's the most. He's using his kid to shill for the company.
That's pretty scummy.
And I called him out on it, and he just completely ignored me. I retweeted that shit. I was like, "This is the most disgraceful thing I've ever seen," or whatever. And he's like, "What is this bullshit, man?"
I mean, it's what people really do these days. They just ignore and hold no self-accountability. They have no self-awareness for their own actions.
Well, for first off, there's no way that kid who's like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years old, his first game is fucking Peppa Pig, and you've been waiting fucking years. You're telling me you've been waiting years for him to play fucking Peppa Pig, and that's the first game he's going to play just because it happens to come to Game Pass this week. Like, if Peppa Pig is your kid's shit, when you buy him the game, you cheap cunt, you fucking idiots. What do you mean? Why? And this is a guy that's fucking supposed to be a Halo fan. You're like, is Halo not your kid's first game? Or, I don't know. Mario Kart, maybe something cool. You're holding
Halo
out
2
for
was
Peppa Pig. You're holding out for Peppa fucking Pig on the fucking Game Pass. Yeah, real fucking original. I've heard some bullshit, man. Jesus, go on.
I mean, Halo 2 was like literally my first FPS game, but like the first video game I've ever played was Need for Speed Underground, and I think those games are infinitely better than fucking Peppa Pig.
Exactly. I said that. I said that in the tweet. I might have said that in the tweet. It's like exactly Lego games or anything. There's hundreds.
Yeah,
Of,
Lego games would be great.
Hundreds of games to play. Like you could even like if you're a real gamer, go and find like your old consoles and shit. Like, hey, play this first. Play the old ones. Wouldn't you? There you go. Hours of entertainment, thousands of games that you've accumulated. No, Peppa Pig. That's going to be his first game on Game Pass.
Has to specifically be through Game Pass as well. Not for marketing purposes, we swear.
Of course, this is what I'm saying. The whole thing was bullshit. It's like he's using his own kid who doesn't know what's going on, and he's just taking a picture of him with a controller with Peppa Pig behind him on the screen. And now he's claiming that number one, Peppa Pig is his kid's first game. Number two, that he's been waiting to play it on Game Pass. So this is a game he's not even bought for him, even though he's like, oh man, it's just wrong on like 8, 9 different levels. Like, my brain nearly exploded. I saw the screen. I was like, no. Like, look this shit up. Go to Duquesne's Twitter and find it. See for yourself. It's even worse when you see it. To me, describing it's bad enough, but if you actually see it with your own eyes, you'd be like, what? Really?
I think I have to literally create a Twitter account to see it.
I retweeted it anyway. You don't. You can only scroll down so far if you don't have an account. That's the problem.
Right.
If somebody had the tweet, they could share it to you and you could look at it. But if you don't, you can't scroll down. It like stops you from scrolling.
All right.
True story. What do you mean? Bonnie Ross doesn't have family issues, as far as we're aware. It's fucking bullshit.
That's family. Where is this information coming from?
Yeah, you must have missed the beginning of the stream. That was at the beginning of the stream. It's this fucking here, this bullshit.
Let me see. I can't really read it.
I'll read this bit.
Oh, there we go. Now I can read it. Sorry, it was just a resolution.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it's corporate spin, is what it is.
Yeah. It's just some bullshit excuse, really.
That's what I'm saying. Are you telling me that all the fucking bullshit, the hashtag 5343 and the thousands of articles going over the last 2 weeks, the 9 billion downvotes on the video, that didn't affect anything? No,
it's not relevant. No.
Family issues.
No influence on what happened whatsoever.
Family issues. I don't get it. Oof, brutal.
Not even like accepting the fact, oh, it's because I'm a shithead at 343. I did a shit job. No, it's because of family issues.
Yeah, but she's gone. That's the main thing.
Someone didn't like that. Yeah, I didn't really like the Skywalker saga. I think it's too brain dead. Like, as someone who played the complete saga, it's too easy.
Yeah.
And the levels feel really rushed. They're also really short, especially in the prequel era.
Yeah,
I was really disappointed.
It's not as good as the Lego games of the old ones. The old ones are better.
Yeah, and the fucking puzzles, it's like, let's just tell you everything you need to know rather than you, like, deducing what you have to do yourself.
It's not a particularly bad game. It's just not as good as the old ones. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's lost that fucking edge.
Like, I see a lot of potential in that game, but I think they missed the mark in some areas.
They should have just put the old levels in and then just built on top.
Yeah.
They should have just done all the old ones again that they already had and then did the new series and then put it together. Then they wouldn't have had to make as much because it would already be there. So then they just build the rest.
Yeah, I feel like they just wasted so much time making those hub areas. Like, you don't really do much in there.
Boring. It's that open world disease again, though, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
everything else. Oh, just collect these. Do I have
I
to?
just,
Really? I'm bored.
yeah, it's so boring just moving from point A to B with like nothing in between. It's so disengaging. I'd much rather have like a focused experience going from level to level
No,
where
I
they like
haven't
pack
played.
as much shit in as
I
possible
haven't
that's
played
fun.
that. Bionicle. Yeah, the old Lego games are way better, like the old Star Wars ones. Lego Star Wars 2, the first Lego Star Wars, then the complete saga. Lego Star Wars 3 was alright, but that had some bullshit in it.
Quite like Lego Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that was alright.
There's going to be a 5th film in that series. It's going to be awful. I can already tell. It's just going to be this old, rackety relic of a man, like, just struggling to move while a bunch of fucking woke lunatics just boss him around.
Nah. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm not optimistic.
I thought Crystal Skull was alright.
I think there were some really stupid moments, but, like, the first half was alright. I really liked the first half.
I thought it was alright, honestly. I'm going to say I thought it was okay. I'm not saying it was like the greatest film. I still think The Last Crusade is the best one, but you know.
Oh yeah, I love that film.
Junior, I like The Last Crusade. It's too good. You've got Sean Connery and fucking Harrison Ford, two of the best actors of the time, together in one film. It's amazing.
Yeah,
you can't argue with that. It's fantastic.
Oh, someone watches The Critical Drinker. Sorry, they just made a reference to him.
All right, okay. I didn't get the reference.
Like in his videos when he talks about like upcoming things, he'll say, "Oh, nah, it'll be fine," and he's got like that really thick Scottish accent. That's what someone just referenced there.
So, does anybody else want to join the trio? 3-way gangbang on Bonnie Ross.
Oh God. That's how you get banned on YouTube. Just set it as your title.
Uncompetitive will join. Yeah, join in, man. Do you want the link? I'm sure he'll have an interesting take.
Oh, someone said that the Temple of Doom is their favorite.
Yeah, it's all right. It's good.
Yeah, I think it's
Kalima! Kalima!
Oh, what's that a reference to? I can't remember. Is it like one of the?
It's the guy. He rips his heart out of his chest.
Oh right, okay. The bald one, right?
He puts his hand over his chest, and then somehow he can like reach in and like rip his heart out of his chest. It's fucking fantastic.
I think it was very amusing when they would like fall off the bridge in that final scene, though. Like it looked terrible with age, but I mean, still a good movie.
I think they're okay. I've never been like a massive fan of Indiana Jones, but I do like them. They're all right. So, but I think The Last Crusade is the best one. I think there's a lot going on in that film.
I feel like you could make a meme out of like this situation if it pans out in a bad direction. You know, you remember that scene with the Crusader Knight when he talks about the chalice and he just goes, "He chose poorly," and it's just with Phil Spencer choosing this person for the head of 343.
So, is this uncompetitive or is this somebody else? The man we know as Duran. Duran is in the chat with no mic, so he can't join.
Oh. I think you have to give like permission to the Google Chrome overlords.
Yeah. And now he's gone. Lemon's in. Lemon.
Yo, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hey.
man. Yeah. How you doing?
Oh, hey.
Hey, what have you got to add to this gangbang? Have you come to save us from 343?
Well, hold on. I think this is the latest one because I can hear my own voice.
I was not expecting his voice to be like that, by the way. I was like smooth. Like, this guy is smooth.
You should start a podcast. You'd be brilliant.
I was like smooth.
I can hear an echo a bit.
It's like it's coming through his screen and coming back to his mic, isn't it?
We just formed Noble Team here.
I have not tried VR. No, I am good.
I really don't like VR as a concept.
I get terrible motion sickness anyway, so there's no way I'd spend £600 on something to get motion sickness. I can just go sit in the car if I want to do it. I'd try one of them ones I've seen on the theme parks where you're actually in it and you're fucking wired up and you're walking around and stuff. That looks cool, but I ain't paying for it. What do you mean VR is really fun? It's the price of admission alone is retarded.
This guy likes VR.
So, Lemon, what can you tell us about Bonnie Ross leaving 343? Is this going to be like the greatest thing ever, or is it just going to be in like a week's time? Is it just going to all be forgotten and we'll be back to square one?
Well, I don't like want to put my opinion too much on it because I don't really want to make like assumption because the guy might be worse than her. I don't really know. I don't really know. Yeah.
Did see 7 years with EA. That's not a good sign, I have to say.
Yeah.
7 years, man. That can have a deep effect on someone, especially EA as a company.
Maybe he just did the beginning where it's like EA Sports. Maybe that was him.
Just the voice.
Yeah, my voice sounds pretty deep.
Yeah, man. Smooth. Mighty smooth. No, Lemon isn't uncompetitive. Uncompetitive's here. He's just joined. Hello.
Hello.
Echo.
Yo.
Yeah. So, uncompetitive, how are you today?
I'm very good. I've had minestrone soup and I've had paninis with some nice cheese on them, which was lovely.
He sounds like he's coming from like a realm beyond. It's brilliant.
How kind of realm beyond?
You got like an echo, like your house.
Oh, really?
He's a omniscient being.
It's like
it's
like you've come from heaven, and you're telling us, "I've had minestrone soup." It's like I've had minestrone soup. It's like echoing.
Oh dear. What can I do to fix it? Is it annoying? Do
Now
I need to put on headphones and mute it?
That might be better, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try that. Give me a minute.
It just sort of sounds like as if you're speaking in a massive cave.
Yeah.
It is a massive cave, actually. It's all knocked through in this room. It's about 27 feet long.
What's he talking about? His dick.
My front room is 27 feet long. So it's kind of like echo.
27 feet long. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, no. Yeah, I forgot you're rich, aren't you? I keep forgetting. You've got like a mansion.
I'm not that rich.
Nah, it's not what you told me.
Where's the hole?
The gang Mike started.
Oh god. He just has Bonnie Ross bound to a chair.
I can't hear you now. So I'm assuming. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello.
Oh, that's better. Now, is the echo still a problem?
No,
it's
it's good
fine.
now.
No,
It's good now.
it's much better now.
Because I can change the gain on my microphone.
No, that's not bad. I'm all right with that.
Okay. I was a bit delayed because I was also looking at Bonnie Ross's OnlyFans.
Oh yeah.
It's just images of like what should have been in Halo.
It's all feet pics, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all feet pics.
This conversation took like a very dark turn.
No, I was just
Went
joking
from
about that.
just talking about like the state of gaming to Bonnie Ross's OnlyFans account.
Well, everyone's going to be speculating about what she's going to do next, aren't they?
Yeah, could be OnlyFans.
Yeah,
Good
this is the
point.
final resort to most people
That could
who
be.
are of that gender, if you know what I mean.
Well, MILFs do very well on there.
Yeah. Hall
So
of Fame.
what I wanted
She's gone.
What I wanted to say was that what do you think constructively? Because it's very easy to do destructive criticism. What constructively would you tell Pierre to do next?
Get rid of the shills. All the
Remove
shills.
microtransactions.
Yeah,
Respect
get rid of those.
the legacy. Focus
First
on
thing-
what made the legacy great.
First thing I would say is get rid of the shills. Get rid of all the yes men, all the jabronis that are worthless and don't actually add anything. Like Unicek, get rid of him. Get rid of Fletch, Ubernick. Cut ties with all these fuckers. Get them out of the franchise. Alex Wakeford, tell him to get on his fucking bike. Get the fuck out. Get these fuckers
This is a
out.
343 branded bicycle. Off he goes.
Get these fuckers out of the company and out of the fucking way, and then you don't have all these idiots telling you garbage 24/7 about what they like. What do they even offer to anybody? Why does their opinion matter when all they do is nod along and agree with everything? And what they've agreed with all this time has failed. So what do they know?
Yeah, I mean, having a
Get rid of
culture of yes men isn't productive.
Correct.
Bad idea.
Because you'll just
Very
be putting
bad
out
idea.
sludge at that point. You'll just be shitting out content, basically. Just anything goes.
Yeah, because you're just agreeing with everything that the management say. You don't ever challenge anything.
Yeah.
It's just churning out garbage.
I mean,
Now,
if you look at...
I don't
Sorry.
want to be like too radical on this, but and say things that you're going to disagree with. But the thing is it's very hard for a studio and a Microsoft to go from a free-to-pay game and then say, well, it's now behind a paywall. It's not going to happen. They'd have to like stop it and then move on to Halo 6 or something.
Yeah, but they'll just do what they did with Gears of War, where they made it so you could earn credits in the game.
That's true. That's true. But what I'm thinking
then everybody
is
wins.
That's what I'm thinking is that you know that they have this system where they're like saying you can buy cosmetics and you can show them in the game, right? And it doesn't work because Halo is supposed to be red versus blue.
Yeah.
So if someone turns up and they're like wearing kind of pink armor and they want to show it off, they're not either red or blue, are they?
No,
Right.
correct.
So there's a conflict.
But I said that before the game came out.
Yeah, I know, but there's a deliberate conflict between the concept of having cosmetics in there and the concept of it being red versus blue. So what do you do? Well, there's actually a way around that. You have it so that you have, when it shows the people standing at the beginning of the game, they're like in their dress armor, and you get to wear whatever you want to wear, and that's where you get to show off your cosmetics and be narcissistic and have your cat ears, right? And then you go into the game and you're all the same, and you're all wearing regular Spartan armor. One side's blue, one side's red.
But that could literally be fixed with a toggle like they did in MCC. That's all it needs.
And then you don't need the outlines, because the outlines are annoying, because the outlines show even when you're behind something.
Yeah, but you could. That's what
it's like a wall hack.
Yeah, but you could have a toggle like they did in MCC, and that would solve that.
I think it should be something that they do on their side, rather than you opt in or out of, because everyone's going to like say, I want to be able to see the outlines because it makes it easier for me.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not necessarily the case, though, is it? I mean, like,
Well, I mean,
I don't give a fuck about.
I mean, you could have lobbies where people both sides agree we don't want to have outlines, and then it's enforced as a rule on that game lobby. And then you have other lobbies where people say, no, we want to have outlines. You can, be permissive, but it's not like there's that many people playing anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling it's just going to like really divide the community even further. That's just like already dwindling.
Yeah, I was seeing your gameplay the other day, and I wasn't in the chat much because it was on Twitch, and I was eating again, right? So I couldn't really comment that much. But the thing is, I was noticing how much everything was ruined by the fact that it had outlines and tints on the other players.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought, why can't this be red versus blue? What the hell is wrong with red versus blue? And what the hell do you do when it's multi-team and everyone's different colors?
Well, multi-team's not in the game for a good reason.
Yeah, but it should be because it was fun.
Fun? No fun allowed. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, you see, the issue is that they were just so focused on the cosmetics that like these issues were an afterthought, that they weren't really an issue to them. Like it wasn't that important. It was like, let's just focus on how much money we can make rather than like how much of a fun experience we could make.
Well, I think GLL's right about that in saying that they shouldn't have been saying, let's make it free to play, because it's not like Splitgate.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been free.
And they should have made it be a paid game. Now, when Forza Motorsport 5 came out, it was something like 40 or 45 pounds. It wasn't that much. And I was surprised because everything else around at the time when the Xbox One launched was like 60. And I was thinking, how is it that this game is so cheap? And then you got the game, it didn't have that many maps, but it had microtransactions and you bought cars. And then the money from the cars paid for them to make more tracks. And eventually everyone got the Nürburgring. Because they didn't like say, well, you only get the tracks if you've bought into the microtransactions. It's like, no, we want the community to have a reason to keep coming back to this. So we'll give them reasons to come back with new maps. But the map creation will be funded through the microtransactions. Otherwise, you have your production of your game, and the end of the game finishes its release. It's like, what's the studio around for? What are they there to do? And you say, well, they could make cosmetics, and then that will bridge them over the pre-production of the next game, whenever the next game comes out in a few years' time. So it's not like microtransactions are necessarily the evilest of evilest things if it can then fund income necessarily to make more maps. But realistically,
well, the maps pay for themselves.
Another thing is to say that maps should be map packs and you pay for them individually.
Exactly.
Which is what the old system was. And I was happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they do go with that route, I hope they just don't go with like season pass models.
No, me too.
I mean, what's happened that's different now than what happened in the past? Because you're comparing like Halo 3, Halo 2 now, right? Is mobile. And mobile is terrible for gaming because it's made it so that people pick up their phone and they say, well, I can just try this game out for free. And it's not free because it ends up having cosmetics and it ends up costing you an arm and a leg. Always. They don't put these things out for nothing. I mean, there might be a few kind of students of game design putting out games for nothing that are genuinely free, right? No cosmetics, no nothing, no adverts. That happens. Yeah. But generally speaking, anything that says it's free to play is a fucking lie on mobile.
Yeah.
And then the thing is that in competition with that, consoles are saying, look at all the money that mobile's making. We'd like to have some of that, please. Now, GLL's argument has been those people who bought into microtransactions on console are the ones that have paved the way for it to be a problem later on, and they've done more of it because they found they could do it in the first place. So I'm like guilty of that because when Forza came out on the Xbox One, I didn't want to play Dead Rising. I didn't want to play, what was it, Roundabout?
I don't know all these kind
of games were like, there were a lot of kind of shit games that were out at the time, and I had no interest in them. And I thought the only game I'm interested in is Forza Motorsport 5. But it's got these cars that you have to pay for. and I waited until it was a sale, and I spent 180 quid in a weekend on cars. Now
Jesus.
I'm to blame.
See,
I'm to blame.
I told you this
I
guy was
had
rich.
encouraged them in order to say this is a model that is a good idea. So I should say sorry. I apologise to the community for what I've done.
Well, I mean, it was more of a collective effort than like you specifically.
Yeah, but at
Yeah,
least
yeah, but you can blame me.
just
You can
by-
blame me entirely for the whole
Yeah,
thing.
no, I'm not saying that you're completely exempt from any like.
yeah, but
anger.
he's already done more than anybody else in the Halo community by just acknowledging he's part of the problem.
But the thing is about that is that my philosophy at the time was that I could buy 3 games for that money, because 60 plus 60 plus 60 is 180, right?
Yeah.
Or I could take the game I've got and I could just invest in it and treat it like a hobby, like a train set, and you buy more rolling stock, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, this games as a service thing might not be that bad of an idea, assuming that they come with more tracks, because it didn't have very many tracks at the beginning. It was a bit rubbish. And then over time, they bought more tracks and it became more of a worthwhile thing to have bought into. And I thought, oh, I made that possible by giving them the money to continue working on it.
Yeah.
I mean, what we're seeing right now is like people giving money to make a bigger train set, and it's just not happening.
And yeah, because
because with Halo, I mean, Halo Infinite, they like buying into these microtransactions, and they're not seeing more maps. And when the maps coming out, like Argyle and stuff, it's
but you won't, because you didn't see any new maps in Halo 5. We've been here before.
Yes, yeah.
So
I never
what
gave any money on microtransactions in Halo 5.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. They had microtransactions in Halo 5. They didn't put any maps in. There's like a few shit maps.
There's some Forge created maps because you love them.
We've got 2 more people wanting to get in here, so let's see what.
I've said most of what I want to say, so I'll let everyone else.
Well, you're all right.
We'll have a noble team. We'll have 6 players.
I'm not leaving, but I've basically made most of my points.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how many we can actually get in the room, and like people have obviously got.
If you need me to leave, tell me.
Well, I can just remove you. I don't have to tell you. I just go like that, and you're gone.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. You have the power. Great Lord, you have the power.
Okay, if Bonnie Ross was here, I could be like, bye, and she's gone. So it's just like that. Right. Monty. You've been waiting to get
Easy,
in.
boys.
How you doing?
All good, man. All good. How's everyone else doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
This is the greatest moment in the history of video games.
Good joke. Good joke.
What is fucking hell?
Nah,
There's no great about this fucking game, man. How many times have you actually played it?
Me?
Yeah.
I probably played it more than the people that actually fucking say it's good.
dude, Ray, I keep turning it on, Ray. I'll have like 2 games, dude, and it's off straight away. It is fucking shit.
I know the feeling.
I keep fucking trying to, like, I'll just have a few games, dude, it's shit.
That's just torturing yourself, forcing yourself to have a fun experience. That's when you know the game is terrible.
Terrible. I agree with that. I agree with that.
The last time I played Halo Infinite was in December. I mean, I didn't play at launch because I was at university at the time. So when I came back, I was like, all right, let's give it a try. I mean, I've heard a lot of terrible things about it. Let's see for myself. And I was extremely disappointed.
Dude,
so,
I just never even played it before. I didn't even install it on my PC. I just watched YouTube videos of it, and I instantly already hated it.
Dude, it's terrible. That outline thing don't make any fucking sense. And I pointed it out to someone because before the game come out, they released like a big team battle gameplay or something, didn't they? And like
yeah.
They were an explosion, dude, and you could still see the outline of the person behind the explosion.
Yeah, in the smoke. Yeah.
Dude, and I pointed that out to people on the thing, and they would just went on at me like I'm the problem.
Yeah,
it's like, no, dude. If you're a good Halo player, I know where to throw a grenade now because you stood right there. I can see you.
Yeah, exactly. And the hit markers do the same thing.
Dude, that is bollocks and all. Hit markers. What, we're playing COD?
That's where they got it from.
Dude, it's utter bollocks. Utter bollocks.
I really didn't like the vehicle damage system. It just made the vehicles feel really redundant. It's like knowing that someone could just easily burst all of my tires really quickly. Like, what's the point in using it then? Why not just go on even
literally.
terms on foot?
Yeah.
Dude, the guns are shit and all.
Yeah, the hit detection was
Yeah,
terrible.
Dude, there's more weapons on Halo 3. I mean, Halo 3 is brilliant. And look how many fucking variety of weapons there is. There's probably about 3 weapons on Halo Infinite.
Yeah, but so it's BR's the game, isn't it?
It's just fucking shite. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You're not a fan of the skewer then?
No.
Spot
I mean,
Laser's way better.
Spartan Laser any day. I mean, don't get me wrong. I use skewer when there's someone coming towards me in Summit, but as anyone would really. But fucking hell, Spartan Laser's way better. Give me that.
Yeah, the skewer just feels too finicky to use, in my opinion. Like, with the laser, you could use it on anything, really. But
Yeah, you
you
could.
have to set yourself up for the perfect moment to do it. But with the skewer, like, you have this tiny fucking reticle. It doesn't even, like, go through multiple targets. And it doesn't destroy the vehicle. Well, it doesn't kill everyone inside of the vehicle. It just sort of disables it.
Huh, does it not? Every time I've done it, it's killed someone. So, but I say that, dude. I've not had many games on it because it's just a waste of time anyway.
Well,
I mean, my memory might be fuzzy because, like, I genuinely haven't played it since December.
I've got a clip of the skewer where there's a guy on that training grounds level coming down the middle where the sniper spawns. Yeah, and there's a guy behind him. I shoot the skewer. It goes through the first guy and it's the second guy behind him and kills the guy behind him.
Oh.
I'm aiming for the one in front and it goes straight through him and kills the one behind him.
That's just ridiculous.
I think I've seen the video on Twitter.
That's like the meme task failed
But
successfully.
if that was a Spartan laser, I'd have killed both of them. But because it's a
right.
skewer, it just goes and kills the guy behind, and you're like, "Hey,
Oh, that no collision thing and all, dude, where you can walk through each other. What is that all about?
I mean,
What is that all about?
Well, I've been saying this before launch, though. A lot of these problems are because of the bots that they put in, and then they have to design around all of that bullshit and all
they had to
decisions.
They had to put bots things. They know no fucker is going to be playing it.
I mean, it was stupid when you had a multiplayer beta and all you could do is fight against bots. It's like, what kind of feedback am I supposed to give? The game's shit. It's not functioning well.
Fucking hell, they're like proper showing them off and all. It's like, I'm not being funny. Call of Duty were doing that years ago.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and they're proper showing it off. Like, yeah, we've got bots now. I don't want to play with bots.
Nobody
against people.
Nobody was asking for bots. If you'd asked people before you put them in, everyone was like, "No, we don't want them. We're good."
Oh, and they wasted their time with those weapon trials. Why? Why are they in there? All they do is showcase how each weapon is just utter shite.
They did the same thing with Gears of War. That's what I'm saying. They're on the same cycle as Gears. Gears put a training mode in first. Gears put the training mode in first. It was shit, and then 343 put the training mode in, and then it was shit. So
yeah, 343 don't have a clue what they're doing, man. They just want to be like every other game, and Halo in every other game. That's all.
Yeah,
no, exactly. It used to
it
be
literally separated itself from everything else. That's what made it so popular.
Do they themselves think that their own game is good?
No, dude, they're surrounded by yes man, dude. They're surrounded by yes men. They don't have a clue, do they? Well, they might do now. They might do now because everyone's made a big fucking fuss about it. Finally,
should have been saying it for the last fucking 5-6 years, though, shouldn't they? People,
yeah, literally.
Not now. It's too fucking late now.
Too late.
Way too late.
Got a shit game now.
Exactly. Right, we've got someone else to get in here. It's called It's DW or something. So let's see what he's got to say. If we can get another person in here.
Well,
oh my god.
Strong
here. All right, what have you got to say, brother?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with your guys' points, man. I mean, it's just a colossal failure. 343 have basically destroyed this franchise. I mean, it's a good sign that Bonnie Ross is gone, to be honest. I mean, she's just done nothing really but destroy this franchise. I mean, her Kiki Wolfkill and Frank O'Connor need to go.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's just
agree.
them two left
Can't
now.
forget
But
the community moderators as well. Like, if you've ever gone in their Discord server, which I wouldn't recommend doing because I mean Discord's just terrible in general. But like, if you go there and start like criticizing 343, you'll get like this fucking swarm of like locusts against
Oh,
you.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
terrible.
that
but
happens
it's
to me, but that
it's
And
like
then
you
they'll
guys
just
said. It's
censor
just
you too. Like, they'll delete all of your comments and they'll issue like warnings and then bans. It's
yeah,
unbelievable. And then
the
you have like
censor.
the moderators too. They'll just openly fucking destroy Bungie's work. They'll say, "Oh, I hate Halo
exactly.
3. It's such a boring game to play, especially the campaign." I'm like, what the fuck? Why are these people in control of Halo? Like, if they hate
Exactly.
Halo, why the fuck are they here? Go
Well,
away!
well,
You have to thank Frank O'Connor for that because he
Yeah,
said he
yeah,
hired
yeah.
people who hated Halo.
but Alex,
But
What?
Alex Wayford literally hates Halo. He says it's a misogynistic hate fucking thing. And Halo,
Why
and
would
Halo
you
4,
question?
and Halo 4 is the best Halo game and all this. He's like a big
no,
article
Oh
on it.
my word, dude! Halo
that
4
that was the
broke.
worst.
You just go to edge at map, man. You can see through map. Like, you know what I mean? It's like not even finished.
Oh,
I
have you
remember
got
first
Yeah.
playing
Just
it, dude,
look at
and I'm
Halo
like
4 and it
looking
makes
at it,
me
and it was
angry.
shit.
Just
I
looking at the
know.
game, like any screenshot of the game makes me angry. It's just that shit.
This one. Yeah,
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
I've got it here. I was going to do a video on it, but we can look at it now if you want. Look, Hyperus, aka Alex Waitford. Halo 4, feminist study of Cortana. We know it's good in
my
great.
God.
What is
Oh,
this?
Terrapsis, there you go.
This guy got a job at 343 for
What
some
is
No way.
What
dead
is this?
serious.
Actually,
He was
taking
he was a
serious.
forerunner and he got a job at 343 for writing
Lunatics.
bullshit
Jesus.
like this.
Complete lunatics.
Oh,
Like,
That's
they
what I'm
just
saying.
spent.
This is
Yeah.
why
What these
Bonnie Ross should have got rid of it. Like these guys need to go next because these are all the fucking
Dude.
weirdos she's hired.
Dude, I
The
can't
topic
believe
is great
the-
point, you know. Equality as a fan franchise, blah 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 blah.
The thing is, if you actually do the research, you'll see that Bonnie Ross actually started this kind of like feminist movement.
Exactly.
So she actually started hiring all these females, and it's like, what do you guys actually bring to the table?
Yeah, what?
I don't know.
Do you have
It's
anything of
absolutely
value
right,
to add?
absolutely
No.
right,
Yeah. So what's happened now is we've got all these male contractors in trying to finish all their homework up and fix the game, while you have all these subordinate weak men and the women can't really do much. It's like
I've posted the link, guys, if you want to read it in more detail. But they're
I'm not
basically.
sure if I would. I think I'd rather just.
Dude, I'm not reading
get
that.
you
But
banned if I said them on YouTube.
But this is the shit I have to deal with on a daily basis to make this fucking channel work because I
I
have
think
to. Like,
everyone deals with this.
who
kind
the
of-
fuck are these idiots making this game? And I like find more and more out about them all the time. I'm
Yeah.
like,
And-
oh,
I think
and
they're
let me
just
just-
in a mental health ward. That's what.
let me just add a point in. If you think about it, Halo 4 was actually a love story. And
Yeah,
Halo
well,
5
it
was
is.
like somewhere on the same lines. And it was like, because you had females making the game and it's got all this emotional entanglement thing going on with it. And it's like,
Yeah.
Chief was never meant to be this emotional kind of guy.
Yeah, it was just a glove for you to wear.
Yeah, and it's just like they completely feminized the whole
They
franchise.
fucking did, dude.
I mean, to be
they
fair,
made
like,
it woke as fuck.
There
with
were
it.
older games that had emotional themes, but they weren't just bullshit. They weren't just about like something
Yeah.
completely irrelevant to Halo. Like with Halo
But-
Reach, it was
but then-
depressing, full of despair, but it wasn't just bullshit.
Yeah,
like
but
this.
then they've also tried to like give females strong roles. So you've got like Spartan females, and then you've
Yeah,
got
Spartan Palmer. I
evil
thought you were
Cortana,
taller.
and she's it's just bizarre stuff, really.
I thought you'd be taller. What
Yeah,
a
that
great
just-
line to say to like the hero
Yeah.
of humanity. That's the first thing you say to him.
But that's the joke from fucking Escape from LA. They literally stole that shit too.
I don't like how much he talks on Halo 4. He like takes you away from you being immersed in the game. It's just you've just
Yeah.
got like fucking Cortana or whatever. Can't really remember it because it's been that long since I played it.
You
but
have all the
I remember
bullshit
A lot
in the
of the
corner.
talking going off.
You have all the bullshit in the corner. The screen
you
comes
do,
up like
yeah.
it's like Dead Space where they just talk constantly. Shut the fuck up. It's Halo. Get out of
Yeah,
here.
it is, man. It is.
Or
That's why I love
Destiny,
Halo
where
1,
it's
dude.
like Skype with gameplay.
Yeah. It's like Cortana ASMR coming up in the corner. But I don't care. I don't care. Stop.
Just let me play the game, god damn it. Leave me alone.
ASMR.
It is.
Yeah, but I think you guys were right saying that a lot of the like the bigger channels on YouTube tend to be overly positive about the game, and that's kind of impacted it a lot more as well, because it's kind of like this forced positivity, and it's like
Yeah.
You know,
And that's
any
like- that's
critical
my
feedback,
nerves.
you guys just hide away from it. Like critical feedback that's going to actually improve the game, and it's like they just want to bum lick everything 343 does.
Dude,
It's just-
I know.
If they,
That
like,
does
if
go on my
343 made a
nerves.
statement saying Halo was never good to begin with, they would all agree with them.
They
would
would.
genuinely
Not this
agree.
guy.
You would. It's
I
funny
don't
though,
want to
because-
like
No, go on,
attack
then, go on.
anyone on YouTube, but there's like this guy Sean W, and he just like spent over £100 on like just cosmetics.
He deleted
Yeah.
that video.
I don't even know what he was trying to do there, man.
Yeah.
I saw that video too. He deleted it.
Oh, he deleted it. Oh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I
hope
think
like,
GLO even made a video on
it
it too.
to
It's
release
still
the
low.
video.
Yeah, I made a video about that. Yeah. Just one sec. Hang on. We got. Yeah.
And then there's the Act Man. He just sort of follows popular
That's
public
the wrong
opinion.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I unsubscribe to that guy, but he's annoying.
Can you all see my screen?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see.
Right.
Seriously.
All these guys were essentially they're either paid by 343 or they're in
Oh.
cahoots. Right.
Yeah,
This whole-
I remember when they showed
all
the
these
screenshot.
names. This is the guy we're just looking at, Alex Wakefield here, the guy who's the fucking writing the feminist shit for Cortana right there. Now he actually
Okay.
has it. He actually has a job at 343 now. You give him a real job now. Yeah, it's actually at 343.
Late Night Gaming, Fabian.
Yeah, we got
Obernick.
Ubernick. Yeah,
Green
just one
Star.
sec. Where's
that guy's
uh,
weird, man.
And then,
I've seen-
but this is it. This isn't even all of them because then you got the pilots, and they didn't even get into the credits of the game. But there's like several pilots. You got like Fletch, who was given a job. This isn't even all of them. Now look at how many names you've got there already, right?
That's a
And
lot.
then you can double that because there's pilots, and then on even you can double that. That's how many people they're paying or influencing. All right, and still they can't convince people the game's any good, and they're trying to they put more money into fucking paying shills to boost the game
Yeah.
than
But I
they
don't
have
know
actually into the game.
What did they even do? Did they just play test the game, or did they give
Nothing,
them feedback
nothing.
on it?
I
Like,
think, no, I
nothing-
think they did provide feedback. I think they
Yeah.
were involved in
Ostensibly,
development.
they get early access to builds and they get to
Yeah.
give feedback on it, which then gets ignored.
but the
Because
game
they
is
just want to keep that
And that's what, like,
relationship
aligns
in
with
order
what they
to
think.
be able to then
Hang
say,
on, that's not fair. It doesn't get ignored because all they do is nod along and go, "Yeah, that's fucking brilliant, lovely." Yeah,
well,
So
they want
that's-
to maintain their access because they think it privileges
I
them.
think Ready Up Live said that he was given access to the multiplayer a lot earlier than everyone else.
Yeah.
Mm,
well, here he is.
There's such a bullshit thing going around at the moment about NDAs, non-disclosure agreements.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
hate NDAs.
they're not
in
even
general.
allowed to say that they're in one. And I say, okay, fair enough. Let's strong steel man that argument that they're not allowed to say they're in an NDA. Okay, they should be honest with their community and not make videos, because every video they make
Correct.
under an NDA is an advert. So they can have it one way or the other. They can be in an NDA with access to early builds of Halo, which they might like, and then go up to Seattle and everything and have wine and dine and whatever,
Correct.
meet everyone and have a fun time, throwing axes at walls.
Yeah.
And then they
Room.
can go off and they can do no videos. They can't have it both ways. They can't have their cake and eat it.
Yeah. What they
Yeah,
do is
you
the
know,
problem.
they've just been like emotionally misleading a lot of people for a very long
Definitely,
time.
definitely.
That's what
No,
annoys me.
it was a genuine reaction. Oh, vroom, vroom, vroom.
No, there couldn't have been a genuine reaction. They'd already seen it. They'd already seen it, and it was like,
Oh, do you think they really like sort of wrote out a script on how they should react? That would be interesting.
Yeah.
yeah,
Of course
yeah.
they did.
They
Of
must
course
have
they
seen
did.
it already, and then they thought,
They
oh,
have.
I've got to pretend to see it for the first time now.
Correct. That's exactly what they did.
Imagine
That's
if
what-
like 343 had to greenlight each reaction. It's like, okay, you don't look excited enough. You need to smile more here.
no, because it was live, so
That's
it would
a
have answered.
person
one
Well, I mean,
of
I'm
them.
saying like, what if they had to
Personally,
stage the reactions beforehand?
Well, maybe. Wouldn't surprise me.
I don't think
You
it's
know-
quite
Yeah,
that
it wouldn't
controlled.
surprise me either.
Do you know Hidden Xperia?
Fortunately, yes.
I hate
Yeah,
that
well,
guy.
so basically, you know, like, he fucking like goes nuts over Halo, done it. Everything Halo's done, he's a brilliant. Then all
He
of a
just
sudden, as soon as
went
that
so
Fire
for blood.
343 came out, it was like, yeah, 343's been incompetent now for like 10 years. It's like, what? You would,
oh
dude,
yeah, I
you
mean,
just
everyone
were
jumped on the
buzzing
hate
about
train.
everything they've done.
Yeah.
And now the mass majority of, you know, of people now are starting to realize the bullshit. Now he wants to come on this side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if,
of course,
if
yeah.
they don't agree with the fans, then they're obviously outcasted, and
Dude,
people
this
just
so
brand them as just a
shills, man.
shield.
This
So
shills.
yeah,
Fucking
so
shills.
they
Yeah, but-
basically have to kind of agree with the fans, you know. It's
Isn't
like,
Xperia supported the free to play before it happened? He said free to play was literally going to save Halo, and I told everybody it was fucking going to kill Halo, and he
Yeah.
was right.
I mean, as soon as they added that free-to-play tag, I knew it was going to be like just full of bullshit microtransactions
Cosmetics.
that they would
Yeah,
excuse
Major red
straight
for
away.
flag.
that label.
Major
free-to-play.
red flag.
yeah, I think the cosmetics kind of just destroyed the look of the multiplayer, man. I mean, you've got just wacky armor designs all over the place, and it's like
Yeah.
the red versus blue concept that you guys mentioned earlier is gone as well. So
Exactly.
that was like a
But we
cool.
still
That's a cool multiplayer feature right there, and it's like, how can you even claim to be competitive if you don't have a feature which you capitalized on in Halo 5? And they did a good job there. Like they made Halo 5, like the red versus blue look cool there, but even though the game was still arse.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, like, red versus blue's been-
You could arguably do both. You could have dress armor in the ready up screen with the cosmetics, and
It's
then
just
go
what they
into
did in
the
Halo
red
3,
versus
though,
blue.
that.
I think it should just be like Halo 3 and Reach. It's like, here are your cosmetics, here's what they'll look like, but you'll have either red or blue on your armor. And it's not going to be like a bullshit, weird, like, mohawk
I think it should be
helmet.
standard armor in the game rather than profiles. You know, I mean, if you have like bunny ears, you've got a different silhouette to every other player. So if you're weaker than every other player, you can be spotted a mile away as being the one that's the weak one, even if they can't see your tag because you're on the enemy team and you haven't got a tag displayed. They're going to say, "Oh, that's a guy who can't play very well. We're going to rail on him."
Target acquired.
I
mean,
think the
it's
trolls
like,
just wear that
I wish
stuff.
they would have focused on like adding armor that would make sense. Like you just look at Halo Reach, all of the armor sets had like a purpose behind them.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
minus the haunted helmet. That was just sort of like an extra reward for playing for so long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was more like it was
Yeah,
inspired
to
by
me-
military. You get what I mean? It was inspired by like military design.
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
had like tactical gears, you had like stripes, emblems. Like you could just access all this stuff, and it's like now you have to pay for some of this. Like it's just really stupid, you know?
You have to pay for color red and blue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
like-
and
to me, cosmetics kind of. You go first. You go first.
Universal across all armor sets. It's bound to that armor core.
Oh,
yeah,
We
that's
all love
just
that
complete,
feature.
complete
it's
garbage.
so bad. It's so bad, dude.
Even though like the bots, they had different armor like colors, even though they were bound to specific armor cores. So
Yeah, I did see something about that. Like some of the reach designs were actually hidden away behind, and you could see them on the bots, and it was like,
yeah, like you'd have George's
what's going
armor
on?
plate on like some random fucking armor core that was different to the Heroes of Reach
Yeah.
season pass.
I think this whole game wasn't designed very well, to be honest. I mean, the maps.
Oh, really?
are-
I wonder what
yeah,
gave it away.
I mean, you got the maps, first of all, are just mostly 3-lane rat race
Yep.
runarounds. There's just always 3 lanes. And when you look at Bungie's previous maps, they architected so well and with so
That's
much
right,
thought,
yeah.
and you've got so much ways you can play it, and it's like you only have like a certain way you can play Infinite style maps, and it's actually since Halo 4 actually it's just been the same kind of generic. Like you got
Halo
you got
4 had
very-
like 1 or 2 good maps, and then the rest was just garbage. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, but they have this map design, which is like you have, like you could have a wide open space in the middle, but there'll be like these intricate side spaces that you can just have like small combat in, and it's kind of awkward, man. I don't know how to describe it, but
It's
let me
like a
try and
worse
find an
version of
image of it.
midship. I think that's where you can.
In Bungie's maps, you always have choke points. You have places you can sit, hold, camp, you can snipe. They're all designed in a specific manner. There'll be a spot like, right, this is the sniper tower. How can this be countered? Right, you got stairs, but if you take the stairs, then there's a risk of this, and then it's all. They actually think about how the map's going to be played. They don't just go like, "Oh right, well there's the sniper tower," and then they're just like, "Right, moving on." It's like, no, Bungie. Well, hang on a minute.
No, dude, it's not here's the sniper tower. It's here's sometimes it's sniper tower because it's all fucking random weapons in it.
Well,
it doesn't even spawn. Like it's all random, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just so stupid, dude. So stupid. I want to know what they were going to give to us. Can you? Because they had to delay it for a year, didn't they?
Oh God.
I want to know what they were going to give us. What the fuck were they going to give us?
It's just
Title screen.
The season 3 is just a run of cosmetics, but they've just decided to delay the cosmetics to March so that then next year they can claim they've had 4 seasons instead of 3. So they can claim they've had 4 seasons in a year instead of 3 seasons in a year.
Oh no, I'm not bothered
Yeah.
about. I'm not on about seasons. I'm on about the actual game, dude. You know they had to delay the actual game a year.
Oh
didn't they?
right, yeah. Well,
Yeah, so I'm wondering what the
well,
fuck they were
Yeah,
going to
to
give
be
us.
fair, I was thinking that when I was playing Halo Infinite, like during December, I was like, if this is what we got after the delay, like,
But-
what would we have received if we did?
there was
Title screen.
there was a big rumor at the time, and then right before they delayed it, there was a big rumor that it was going to come out and it was just going to be campaign. The multiplayer was going to be delayed. That was a big rumor
What
at
in
the
the
time.
fuck, dude?
And then-
Bungie
But
would
the thing
never-
is, it's like they've had 7 years to make this game, and it's like, I don't know. I've seen this interview with Bonnie Ross, and she was like, it takes 3 years to make a good Halo game, and it was like, did they make this game in 3 years? Because it feels like they left it till last minute to do the building.
Because they're too busy doing pride parades and
Yep.
all that sort of shit.
I mean, that's what annoys
Yeah,
me
it's
the most
like-
with MCC.
Women's days out. Women of 343 taking photos, all of them with the SJW haircuts.
Yeah, but
and
but look at it like this.
priorities.
the
look
BLM
at it like
month
this.
as well. You can't forget that.
You had Bungie make these games in like 3 years, and they
Yeah.
made like epic games, and
And they had two
Look at Halo
women,
2. That was made in
two
2
women
years.
working for them.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, and it's like these guys have had twice the amount of time, a $500 million budget, access to bigger and better technology, and you guys
And
can't.
more knowledge as well. They I think
Yeah,
when
more
Bungie were making
tools,
their games,
and it's
they
like
had
you
less
guys can't.
knowledge.
Yeah, it's just it screams incompetence. You get what I mean?
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
100% screams it. I don't think they know what they're doing. Well, they don't. We all know that, don't we? They don't know what they're doing. They don't
Yeah.
fucking know what
They
they're doing. It's just a bunch of fucking spazzers like running it.
It's just a bunch
Yeah.
of people who saw an opportunity to make a ridiculous amount of money with very little effort, and they took it.
Well,
Yeah, I
I've
think that-
heard a rumor that one of the problems was that Microsoft management can't stop going around to 343 and say, "How are you doing?" Every day.
I
They
would.
don't let them work. They
I
keep
would as
coming around
well.
and say, "How's it going? What are you doing?" Which is the worst, right? Because if they ever want to get on with something, you want to be left to do it. You know what to do. You're going to do it.
They
You
don't.
don't want someone coming in.
Well, I
and
mean,
saying,
with Halo 2, I think Microsoft were really pressurizing Bungie to just release the game as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
but
that's
I mean,
2
you
years.
don't make a pig fat by weighing it all the time.
I don't know,
Well, I
man.
mean,
I don't think
you
you can
technically
put.
You
could.
take your pig and you feed it, right? So it gets
I don't
fat.
think we can put all
You
the
don't
blame
take the
on.
pig and repeatedly weigh it because it's not being fed as much.
Yeah, true story. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing is that Microsoft management need to put in good people and leave them the fuck alone for 6 months.
Yeah, but
and
they
then come
don't.
back in, and if they're not doing a good job, fire them, replace them. or shut the whole
I'm so
studio
sick
down.
of waiting to see results. I waited 6 years and I got Halo
I know,
Infinite.
I know.
I'm so sick of this shit.
Well, what I'd like to see them do as a thing of good faith is at the moment, incredibly, you can't play Halo 3 multiplayer because the MCC is broken and they shut down the servers for the Bungie version.
Yeah,
So can we have the Bungie version working again? Because I'm sure they could just flip a switch
Yeah,
and
they
make it
should
work.
just do
You
that.
got Elgato though. Not Elgato. El
What's
Dorito.
wrong with the MCC? Can't you play
There's
Halo 3
Project
on that?
Sunrise as well.
No, I don't consider it to be the same game.
El
And I'm
Dorito
sure
is.
if they
Now they've
said we're
modded
going to
it.
have this and it's going to be a thing we're going to do just to kind of like pacify the fans and say, we recognize that this is what you liked and this is with the good days. And hopefully we'll be able to do something as good as this again and be worthy of your, love, and be, if they say through their deeds that they recognize that Halo 3 was like the good Halo. I mean, what they did with Halo Infinite was like half listening to the message that they're getting back from the fan community, which was that they wanted Halo 3. And so they got something that looked like Halo 3, but didn't play like Halo 3.
I mean, it felt like as if they were maintaining the facade of like listening while doing
It has
something
has
completely
a
different.
superficial art style of Halo 3, which is massive progress over Halo 5, which looked terrible, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then
I
they go
think-
off and they say, right,
No,
but
I
it doesn't
think they're the
play like
same.
Halo 3 because it's got this grapple shot thing. So it's kind of like
It's
okay.
legacy experience, though. What do you mean?
Yeah, that grapple hook is arse.
I mean, I still have issues with the art style of Halo Infinite. I don't think it's like
It's
really
too cartoony.
Yeah, I don't like the design of the Banished. I think their armor needs to look more worn. And
Yeah, you know what? They could have done a lot more with the Banished because it feels like they because I haven't played the game myself. I just watched it online, but it's like they're confused between what they want to do with the Banished because you got like this Covenant kind of like you got blue elites and then you've got blue pulses coming out the weapons and then you've got red brutes and it's kind of like a contrast. If you want to do the Banished, I'd say go all out with the red aesthetic.
yeah,
and then have really flesh out the vehicles as well.
That might be
Halo Wars 2.
That might be because I've been complaining for about 10 years about generic red elites, so maybe they actually listened and took them out of the game.
Yeah, but
I mean,
They actually
personally,
listen
like,
to you.
I think
who waited for the brutes to fall asleep and shave them in the night?
Yeah, that's a bit weird. That one is.
That's probably Phil Spencer, wasn't it?
I mean, I think it would have been more interesting if like
Craig, I'm going to shave you.
I mean, like, personally, I think like with the ranking system, they could have done it so like the lower ranking enemies would wear armor like that you would see in Halo Reach, and then like if you go above a 1 rank, you would have enemies wearing armor from like Halo CE, and if you go a rank above that one, it'd be like Halo 2 and then Halo 3. I thought that would be way more interesting, just to add like a bit more complexity. So you'd have like a hierarchy of the gear, like in terms of how modern they were. And prioritizing the better soldiers with like the better gear that they scavenged. But no, like they just all look the same to me, and I just don't think that's interesting. If you have these like glorified space pirates, you should commit to that aesthetic. You shouldn't just make like Red Covenant. There you go, bang, have fun. No, you should really commit to that fucking idea.
I think Halo 2 did it best. We like different classes or whatever of Covenant. I think Halo 2 did it really well.
Yeah.
When that first come out, when I was like, I think I was about, how old were I? I think I was about 6 maybe when that come out. No, shit, I might have been 5 in fact. And I didn't really understand how games worked. I didn't know they had like another one coming out. So when someone said to me, "Oh, Halo 2's coming out," I'm like, no.
It's all right. It's all right. I was 10 years older than you, and I was still like, what?
That's revolutionary.
And I was loving it, man. And when it come out, dude, it was fucking brilliant. I mean, I still play Halo 1 to this day, like, but Halo 2, I thought it did it fucking amazing as well. Yeah, really.
All right, so it doesn't get forgotten. The other thing that needs to be fixed about multiplayer is a damn, weapon boxes, right? It needs to be weapons spawning on map like it used to be, and then the same weapon in the same place.
That's never getting fixed.
No, they need to go back to that, and they need to fix
the AI
it in the current game they've got. Otherwise, it's like no point going forward with it.
It's a legacy experience, though. They're not changing it. Just improve the game.
Yeah, but what is the rationale? What is the rationale for having them in boxes?
Well, the dildo lovers loved it, didn't they? So Griffin Gaming said it was like amazing, So
I mean, I understood the reasoning in having it in Halo 5 Warzone. You go up to like an ATM. That's what I used to call them. Go up to those, say, can I have a Spartan tank? And then I'd get the Spartan tank, drive around in it, and get blown up within 5 seconds. And I think, oh, that was like completely underwhelming.
Yeah, buy another one.
Right, okay. And there'd be all this kind of peer pressure from the people on your team saying, oh, you've got credits, can you buy a tank? I'm like, I don't really want to because you're shit and it's only going to get blown up. So it's like, I dread to think how much money people poured into that game in order to kind of give them an edge over a better team.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like, why? And it could have worked because there was a variant of the Warzone where you fought AI, and I thought, okay, that's not such a bad
firefight.
thing. Yeah. Because that one was like, when you're buying more stuff, it's like you're not both in competition and someone's going to be throwing their money away. to just try and beat the other team that's better than them, because the other team's AI. So I thought that might. It's both of them are evil, but that's less evil.
I'd rather just have a normal firefight without bullshit microtransactions.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
me
when you've
too.
got the choice
Me
and
too.
you're saying which one do you keep in the game. You're
I mean,
saying,
like
get rid
you
of
keep
regular
talking
Warzone.
about from the perspective of the company. I think we should just be focusing from the perspective of the customer. Like, I'm sick of this shit of like, oh, we have to, support the developers. We have to care about their feelings. No, say what you want. You should value what you think as a customer, because you're purchasing this product. You're
Yeah,
investing
dude,
your
literally.
money and
Yeah.
voting with your wallet.
Well, that's
You should
why.
say what should
Me
be what
personally,
goes.
cosmetics kind of give me a reason to get good at a game. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Like
why I was
Halo
saying
3.
in chat. The next thing is fire Phil Spencer. Hashtag fire Phil Spencer, because
Well, hold
he
on a
was the
minute.
one that
Hold
was
on a minute.
behind having Game Pass and
Yeah, but-
having microtransactions.
But
from the
I
beginning.
think we can give Phil Spencer a pass if he's just fired Bonnie Ross. I think if we have to give him a pass.
No. This is the point in which they apply more pressure, because this is the way it always goes. Like if you've got like the Democrats in America, people aren't happy with the way things are going in the economy. They're going to just get rid of Joe Biden, aren't they? Then they're going to have Kamala. So it's like, okay,
Kamala,
you actually
into your
achieved
ra-
there.
into
What-
your
Well, I
wrestling-
mean, at the
what Kamala
moment,
felt, it's not
the
really any
reality is
different.
that like Kamala is the president. Joe Biden, the vegetable himself, is just
Who
a
the hell
puppet.
is Kamala?
Kamala's VP. Actually, the president's Obama.
Right.
He's still he can't stand as being president.
Here's
for
who
another
I
term,
when,
but he's
when you
effectively
say
president.
when you
he's
say
the one
Kamala,
who's writing all the policy.
when you say fucking Kamala, this is who I think of. This guy.
Oh right, okay. No, Kamala Harris is the vice president.
Fucking hell.
Oh, yes, the
Kamala.
Vice President of America.
WWF brother, like Kamala, like big fucking guy, black guy with fucking all this shit.
Right.
I think you need to get rid of Frank,
not
man.
The only-
stereotype
the
at
only-
all.
That's the only
That's not going to offend anyone.
that's the only Kamala I've ever known. What's the stereotype?
I'd say before-
he's a wrestler.
Before all of that, we
Then
need to get
in
rid
the
of Frank.
later years, he was like a cool guy, and stuff.
These images just look like a lucid dream. What the fuck?
It's Kamala. He's a wrestler from the 80s.
Yeah, but the
All
thing
right.
is you
Like,
get your,
here's
you
him
know,
with
you-
here's him with Andre the
you
Giant.
draw blood on your victim and you don't stop until they're dead.
Andre the Giant, look there.
He's fucking huge, He's fucking huge.
I think
but
it's,
look,
it's
Kamal
too
is
easy
fucking
to,
wider
like,
than him.
Let's throw Bonnie Ross under the bus,
He's
and then
fucking
say,
is,
right,
isn't
okay,
Kamal's
everyone's happy
wider.
about there being some bloodletting, and not see that the real problem is that all this was set up by Phil Spencer.
I mean, isn't like the situation right? So Bill Gates doesn't give a flying fuck about Xbox. So you got Phil Spencer. Well, no, yeah, he gets Phil Spencer. He just tells him do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, I
And there
think
we
he'd
go.
left. I think he'd left the company, retired, and it was Steve Ballmer when the time of the Xbox One coming out.
All right, yeah.
Right.
But then, like, Phil
so
Spencer
if
took
you remember,
over
Steve
because-
Ballmer's a guy who was like had the shirt and was going rah 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 with his fist on stage, and he was all sweaty and everything.
Yeah, I think I remember him.
And he was a
then
salesman within Microsoft who rose up to big car, and I think vice president of Microsoft or something, or CFO or something. And he was like really good at selling stuff. And to his credit, Steve Ballmer was the one who said, "Oh, is it the case that this Xbox One's fucked because it's got this overheating issue?" And they said, "Yeah." He said, "What's it going to take to fix it?" And it says, "Well, it's going to be that we're going to have to, ask people to send them in, and we're going to have to pay them to be able to, post them to us. So it's all free, and then we're going to fix them and send them back."
Oh, you're talking about 360.
Yeah, the 360.
Yeah, you said.
And he
Xbox
did it
One.
all, and it cost billions, right? And he didn't need to do that. He could have just said, "We're walking away from gaming right now." But he was convinced at the time that if he didn't do that, the Xbox brand wouldn't be worth shit. No one would want to go near it. And he wanted to have a finger in that pie, in the entertainment pie, long term.
Bonnie
I
Ross is
still have
fine.
my white Xbox. I actually modified.
Ross is
Like, it had the red rings of death, so I put like it looks so shit, but I put a fan on top to cool it down. I literally cut like this hole on top and put a
Yeah.
fan on, and it still works.
That's
Well,
not wow.
I had three. I had 3 red rings of death.
How'd you fix it?
I am.
You'd have
Clear
to
the
wrap a
fridge
towel,
with a towel
around
on it. Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the Xbox One, it was the Xbox 360, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Because the
360.
Xbox One was so massively big inside and so well vented, it couldn't happen again. And everyone
Well-
said, it looks like a VCR. And I said, well, there's a reason it's so big. It doesn't, they want to run cool.
Anyways, what you guys think of Frank O'Connor?
I think he's a twat. He needs to go. I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
What else is there to say? He's a twat who never really understood what made Halo popular. So he should fuck off.
You'd have some people who would argue that he's been in the
exactly. He never understood it from the beginning. So just you can fuck off. Off you go. You never understood it from the beginning.
He's the original yes man.
Yeah.
So he was like a reporter or something, right? And he got into Bungie.
He's changed his title a million times. Basically, he was customer relations. He wasn't actually in Bungie. He was in Microsoft. Basically, originally, he was like Microsoft put him in place when Bungie turned up. Was like, "Here's your marketing guy, Frank." And he was like, "Hello."
I need to see what this guy looks like. I can't remember.
And then that was it.
And then somehow from there, he climbed the ladder in 343 to get to some kind of leadership role.
He didn't though, really. They just keep changing his fucking job title and he doesn't really do anything different. He just kind of sits around and does nothing, is what I can tell.
Yeah.
I mean, all he's good for, as we've seen in like the MCC version of ODST, is cleaning. You could just give him a mop and just tell him to just clean.
The old Beamish. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but I saw an interview with him. I can't remember what they would ask him, but he said the best people to work with, because he's in charge of choosing who to work with now, are like handing over the Halo IP to certain contractors and whatever. So he said it's kind of like choosing porn or something like that.
No, he didn't.
You can find this online right now.
No.
Just type in Frank O'Connor. Magnificent porn to just something that makes you want to gouge your eyes out and just bleach your brain.
Yeah, he said.
That's what he's done.
He said it's kind of like choosing porn, like who you work with, and I was just like, "Are you kidding me?"
Well, it might be, because it's like, well, does Kiki sit on my face today, or does Bonnie roll?
Except this guy isn't getting that, man. He's at home having a wank.
He's getting some off Bonnie, surely. Come on.
No way.
You're a big bald head.
No,
that slap head.
Yeah, because he keeps wanking at home.
You have to watch. You have to watch this video that I've got about Frank O'Connor. Recently, he was fucking talking bullshit. All this.
Oh yeah, when you just telling basically people to go outside.
Yeah, he was like touch grass and all that shit, wasn't he? All that bullshit.
Oh, really?
Basically, we're telling him that the game's shit.
It says that I'm not a game designer or an engineer. Okay, so go away. Shut up.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Get the fuck out of the franchise.
Yeah.
What good are you?
If you have nothing of value to add to this discussion, go away. We don't want you here. It's like someone repairing a car and someone entering, like trying to start a conversation. And they start with, "I'm not a mechanic, but I'm going to insert my opinion anyway." It's like, just fuck off. Go away.
I don't know. That might actually be valid, because this one time I was like, "Yo, the back brakes are gone," and it's like, "Well, how'd you know that?" Well, because it had front brakes on it last year.
Yeah.
And then the guys there were like, "No, it's the front brakes." I'm like, "No, it'll be the back brakes, because it just had new front brakes on it last year." No, it'll definitely be the fronts. They don't go through many back brakes, these. I says, "Yes, but it had new front brakes last year, so I really don't think." No, it'll be the front brakes. Yeah, it was the back brakes.
Yeah, I mean, mechanics don't really have a good reputation. I shouldn't have used them. All they do is find ways to rip you off on your car.
Yeah. What you guys should do is have a look at that. There's an article on this. It says Frank O'Connor. Just type in Frank O'Connor. It's kind of like watching porn, and you'll find the article.
I'm not sure if I want to look that up. I don't want that appearing in my history with how Google collects everything you think and do.
But it's funny because you have a teen-rated game. It's a teen-rated game, and he goes and says something like that.
Yeah.
It just speaks volumes, It's like,
yeah,
this man doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Inappropriate for the job.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like that joke.
Well, the subtext of that is he thinks that the community are basement dwelling wankers.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
you're not
what he
wrong.
has in his mind about the people who play Halo. He's thinking, oh, they all get this message because I say it's porn, and they go, oh, I know what you're talking about, Frank. Well, they have a
It's just
wank.
because they can't make a good game. So what can
Yeah.
you do? It's
You have, to
like,
be
Frank
you
O'Connor.
have to be careful with stuff like this because I like to know where the source is. So I'm not seeing the source for it, so I don't know if it's real. But it might
No, well,
might
this
be
game
because
is
it
the-
might be because it's Frank O'Connor. But I didn't think this was real at first. So
oh, the porn thing.
no, that's this one here. I thought this was bullshit at first. This one here.
Oh,
Oh, right. I
Um,
mean, honestly, I can see it happening. Like, especially if you ever join the fucking Discord server for
it's
Halo. Like,
it's
the
something to
shit
do.
they come up
It's something to do with this Halo on Paramount show is where it come from. This or something. It's somewhere buried in here where it came from.
Landfall's the only proper live-action interpretation of Halo.
Yeah,
I stand by
there
that.
it is.
yeah,
Small paragraph. It's kind of like
Yeah.
porn.
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
That's bizarre,
You
man.
know it when you see it. Ah, yes.
It's funny
Well,
that it's a kind of
they-
like porn. Like what?
in the
See,
Washington
I'm
Post,
glad
no
you're
less.
bringing this to my attention because I was not aware of this.
Bloody hell.
So it's like while Infinite's basically on fire, this guy's at home having a wank. It's like,
Cortana feet pics, Bonnie Ross pictures and shit on his wall.
Jesus Christ.
That's
yeah.
Oh,
So
please,
this man
please.
needs to go.
God.
This man needs to go as well.
Well, yeah, he does. I mean that Unishaki needs to fucking go.
Oh, look at him wearing his mask. Like a
Say,
little
yeah,
fucking
none of these
white boy.
guys are, so it's real
Yeah.
real safe.
got nappy on face.
I mean, what they should have done with like the TV series is like play the games, realize what made them great, like focus on the moments that were brilliant, and then just try and recreate that experience in
Yeah,
live
but
action form.
the TV show was a colossal failure, man. That thing is disgusting.
I didn't even. I knew it was going to be terrible. Like as soon
I
as they
didn't watch
started
it.
making statements like we didn't bother to look at the lore, the games, or what made them popular. It was
Nah,
like okay,
they just
so
showed the Chief's
what the fuck
face.
are you doing?
They
Yes,
just
Chris
had to
Scott.
show the Chief's face, and that was it. That was just the
And I-
nail in the coffin.
Well, there's
Characters didn't make sense neither. Like you've got fucking it just didn't match the game at all. Like
yeah,
So
a friend of
that-
mine told me that they just turn him off. Like they literally just turn off the Master Chief with the press of a button. It's like, what the fuck is this thing? Well, what are you trying to accomplish here? He's not a fucking
Yeah.
machine.
it's all
Sure,
well
there's like a
told.
metaphor for him being a biological machine, but he's not like a physical like T800 model that you could just press a button. He's like, system shut down. He just turns off. Like, no.
But it's also like they gave the Spartans like these switches like in their body or something like that.
Yeah, that's
Like
what
these
I've been
chips,
told.
yeah.
It's like
Oh,
that
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
make any sense.
It's completely
No.
I mean, you
ridiculous,
could
man.
argue like, oh, maybe the armor lock system. I would believe that. Like they just turn off the armor somehow. I would believe that, but not fucking just shutting your body down. This isn't Star Wars. Using the Force.
And then Cortana
bullshit.
takes over his corpse or some crap like that.
That's what happens in the last episode. Yeah, he dies,
What
and then
the fuck?
Cortana he dies so Cortana can take control.
There
It's
you go.
woke-
That
it's
just
woke
sort of
feminist
summarizes the
bullshit.
franchise in general. Like, it's concluded, it's dead, and then a woman takes over and ruins it. There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
but
all woke,
it's
man. It's too
sexist.
woke. It's so woke.
But it's like Kiki Wolfkill, right? She was in charge of this show, right? Let me see.
not to my knowledge, but you can if you've got the
Kiki
info.
Wolfkill.
I mean, if someone wants to like understand what would make a great live action interpretation of Halo, just look
Kiki's
up Landfall.
what was Kiki? She was like
She was in charge of like the Halo transmedia and all that crap.
yeah, Halo Transmedia. Yeah.
So it says yeah.
What does
So
that
she's
even mean?
so she's a series producer of the Halo TV series. So she's actually
yeah. Producer just basically means you sit back and let someone else do it, right? Like she did with everything else she's ever done. Because she never made Halo Wars 2, but she's there commentating on it. She never made Halo 4, but she's there talking about it. See what I mean?
Yeah. So I think that she had a part to play in the TV series, but it's obviously her, Bonnie Ross, and I don't know who else, but
Well, they should be saying, "Well, no, this sucks. We're not doing this. See ya."
yeah.
then
But the
get
thing
someone
is, that's what I'm saying. It's female leadership, and it's like when it comes to female
Weak.
leadership,
They're emotional. They're emotional in nature.
yeah,
they're
and
not-
it's like
They're
you
not
can't.
thinking based on logic. They're thinking based on emotion. So they just make retarded decisions.
Yeah, you can't expect a female to understand like military strategic warfare and the kind of things that men kind of like.
It's a boy's toy,
Understand and
isn't it?
do on a daily
Halo is a boy's toy. It's fucking, it is.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you have the occasional female Marines, but it's not the focus. Like, no.
Well, no, that's all it's all about now, dude. It's got to have diversity. Didn't she even say that, like, she were hiring more people to make more diverse and all that shit?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
Not even
Yeah.
that's
focusing
what we
on
should
the
be
fucking
focusing on. You
game.
should be focusing
That's
on
that's
people
in
who
the-
would like make something better, like people who are skilled, not just like of a certain skin color
Yeah, no,
or
literally,
like
that's what she was
background in
doing,
general.
yeah.
It's like, no, you should be focusing on like their fucking
Skills and
Skills.
qualifications that
Yeah,
would
the
actually improve your
qualifications.
service.
Yeah, exactly.
because look at like I mean, you could just use 343 or just like Star Wars as examples of why
Yeah.
diversity is a problem. Like when you focus
have you
on
seen-
it too much, it just causes massive problems for everything.
Have you seen the Rings of Power?
No, and I
I
don't
have
think
not.
I ever will.
It's
I know
it's the
terrible.
exact same situation. I kid you not. It's
Yeah,
going through
I
the
mean-
exact same thing. It's like you have this this female protagonist who's basically cartwheeling over orcs and doing the most, and it's like this isn't Lord of the Rings. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be shit. Like as soon as I heard what was going to be done, so I just didn't bother. Like I'll just the only
Yeah.
proper adaptations from the book so far has been like the original series of films from the early 2000s, and that's it. The Peter Jackson films.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Disaster.
I think another good topic would be to talk about is like the weapon design in Halo Infinite. So
It's terrible.
I've got a
boring.
massive
bland.
issue with the weapon design. it's like they.
What in the
Hold on
3
one second.
weapons there is?
Like most of them add nothing to the table. The pulse carbine. What are you going to do with that? You may as well just fucking use your fists. Your fists are more effective than that weapon.
Wait, what is that gun? Is that gun what looks like it's come straight out of Star Wars?
It's
That
like
little pistol? Or am I thinking
no.
something else?
It's the it's like the replacement for the carbine, I guess.
It's like they took the plasma repeater from Reach and then realized the plasma repeater was shit, and then they were like, "Doesn't matter, we'll make this even worse." Yeah.
Hold my beer if you thought that was terrible.
Yeah,
How
I mean,
the
like, you've got the skewer, and that thing is like the most awkward looking thing. You got this big clunky. They hold it like a rocket launcher, right? But then, like to reload it, you just kind of open it like 2 centimeters upwards, and it just looks really awkward. You get what I mean? It's like
I get that
Yeah,
confused
it
with
is
the
a
Rebel.
really weird weapon. I can't really
the
see
concept of it is nice, but then when you look at it in motion, it's kind of it doesn't quite make sense.
I mean, it just doesn't really make sense in general. It's like, okay, let's just make a fucking glorified harpoon gun.
Dude,
Like,
Yeah, I think they could have designed it a bit better, but
it literally looks like the Ravager, dude. You know how many times I've been stoned and I've thought I've had that gun, and I've shot it, I've aimed, and I've hit like the wrong. I've shot the wrong gun. You know? It looks the exact same, dude. I can't tell the
bulldog
gun
shit as well.
apart.
Sorry to
all
interrupt.
right, yeah. So the
No,
Ravager,
you're right though, and all that shit and all.
that thing
Bulldog.
looks
My God! Like, why couldn't you just include the shotgun from Halo 3?
Oh,
That was
yeah,
fine.
so,
That was
yeah,
balanced.
they need to have like the classic CE pistol and shotgun, because I mean, if you were to bring back infection
The
mode,
CE
you need
pistol
those two.
in the game, in my opinion. Like everything would just focus on who's holding the CE pistol.
Yeah,
That
but
game
I
was-
mean, if anything, that kind of like shows you how out of touch these developers are, because they've deliberately gone out of their way to make something look not like the iconic weapons.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
and it's like
Yeah, the Ravager. That doesn't look like a Halo weapon. To be honest,
Yeah,
it looks
but-
like Gears of
shit.
War.
so if I show you like the CE pistol has it's completely the opposite of what you get in Halo Infinite. It's like two different weapons.
Right. I thought you meant like both, like in terms of visual design and like
Yeah.
gameplay design. I thought
Yeah,
you
yeah.
wanted.
So visual design. I mean, like the CE pistol, you've kind of got like the handrail, and then you've got like the extended magazine at the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, it was basically a
And then-
space team.
Yeah, and then what you get in like Halo Infinite is this like generic modern, hand pistol. The sidekick, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember in the gameplay reveal, the person who designed it was saying, "Oh, I was inspired by John Wick when making this gun." Why couldn't you just look at the fucking Halo games?
Exactly.
I was inspired by Halo 1.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh great, and then they would make a weapon that would look like as if it belonged in Halo and not fucking John Wick.
Exactly, yeah. And then the shotgun is the easiest one. That's completely just cocked up everything. Because I mean, if you were to bring it back in infection, I mean, how would you even balance that? Because now you're just
None of the
pumping
weapons
everything
would
in.
work in infection other than the energy sword. Like if you gave everyone the fucking bulldog, no one would be the last man standing. Like it would just end immediately. Done.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Someone's
The
mentioning
assault
the
rifle
commando
is pretty overpowered as well.
Oh yeah, let's add headshot multipliers to a fucking fully automatic weapon because that's going to be really balanced.
Yeah.
Headshot multipliers, you gotta love to see it.
It's good. It's his legacy experience, though.
Yeah.
Bringing it back to its roots. Classic gameplay.
Hey.
And then you have like the Mangler, which is like the worst thing they could have added because now it's like you've put a revolver into Halo.
Well, that
And
weapon's
it's
just
like
fucking statistic in general.
yeah, so now it's
I don't know
technically
how
a
it
sniper
works.
rifle.
Honestly, I don't know how you're supposed to use it. It's just so weird.
What weapon's this?
The Mangler, the one that's like a weird fucking
Oh, the one that's actually better than the shotgun.
yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And you can snipe people with it as well. So it's this is why Bungie didn't add things like that into Halo.
Bungie knew what they were doing, dude.
Yeah,
They just knew.
You could just tell, like they even like you look at Halo 2. Sure, it had a lot of problems, but there was one map they made. They realized it played awfully, so they didn't add it into the game. And that's a philosophy 343 just can't fucking fathom. The idea of making something new, realizing it won't work, and just not adding it.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Someone in the chat said, Jill said the commando is from Titanfall. It's the R101C.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember seeing the commando and thinking, yeah, that looks like a Titanfall weapon.
Because of how the magazine kind of slants.
Yeah, the angled fucking design.
Have you noticed a pattern where 343 are just copying every other popular competing rival game?
Yeah,
definitely. Like this one's competing with Titanfall, and they're stealing Titanfall, and they're like, "Oh, Titanfall had grapple, so we better have grapple." Previous game is Advanced Warfare.
It's because they're out of ideas. That's why they haven't got.
You see in that Ryan Darcy clip that he did, the Game Developer Conference GLL had on his channel, where he said, "Yeah, there was a boost jump in the game. We took it out."
Yeah, I seen.
Well, they left it in Advanced Warfare, and it's like the main mechanic for getting around the map. And then the previous game to that Activision made was Black Ops, where you've got ordnance drops.
Yeah.
So like they've been looking at them saying what they're doing over at Activision. Oh, they've got ordnance drops. We better have ordnance drops.
Perks as well, weapon loadouts.
Yeah, everything's the same.
Packs, loot boxes, essentially.
Yeah.
All these mechanics. Yeah, all these mechanics just ruined the franchise, man.
I have a question. Do you guys know any good modern game that doesn't have microtransactions or free to play?
Mario Golf. Mario
They
Golf.
don't make games like that anymore.
Mario Golf. Mario Golf. There you go.
Yeah, I do. A short hike.
A short hike.
It's about a penguin that's looking to make a phone call to his mother. And he has to go off an island to the top of a mountain and get good reception for his phone.
I have no idea what he's on about, but it sounds amazing.
I'd recommend that you play Metro Exodus. That's a good one.
Oh, that game's brilliant.
I wouldn't say that's modern.
I mean, it came
out. Any game that came out after 2013.
I'm waiting for that High on Life.
After 2013.
Yeah. After the generation.
Mario Golf. Yeah.
Okay. How about no Nintendo game? Exclude the Nintendo games.
Are you just saying Xbox, or can I have PlayStation, or what?
Yeah, Xbox, PlayStation, or PC.
Let me see. No microtransactions. You
No
got
microtransactions.
You got Detroit Become Human. That was pretty good.
No, it has to be a multiplayer.
Multiplayer.
Dude, I actually don't know, dude. I don't know.
I don't think there's been a multiplayer game since then. I mean, before then we had microtransactions in Gears of War, so I don't think there's been one.
I mean, I guess now that they've changed it so much, you could say Battlefront 2, maybe. I mean, I think the overall experience is pretty fun.
No, because that's got microtransactions. You
It's
said
got
that.
them.
They've removed. Well, have they?
It has.
Are there any
Not
microtransactions?
as onerous as it did at the beginning, but it's still got them.
Right, you can still upgrade to the Celebration Edition. So
Gears of War Ultimate Edition only had the skin packs, didn't they? They didn't actually have them in the game. They didn't have a store.
I mean, I like the Division 2, Warlords of New York.
that has
a
microtransactions.
lot.
That game's just riddled with microtransactions.
But you don't have to buy any of them at all.
Yeah, but he wants a game that just is completely.
I know, but I mean,
Devoid
it's like if you can play it by yourself, and it's like you don't care. You don't have to care about them, so it doesn't matter.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
It's got co-op multiplayer.
Has that got microtransactions?
No,
Nope.
it doesn't actually.
and VR. You can play co-op multiplayer in VR. I have. It's been good.
Yeah, the VR. I've seen some VR on that. It does look pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
But I'm sure there's microtransactions.
No.
The thing about No Man's Sky is it's too much of a grind, and it's got no point to it. That's the only.
Ah,
That's the only thing about it. It just doesn't really amount to anything.
Someone mentioned Doom Eternal. But, there are microtransactions in Doom Eternal now. You can buy like the individual seasons that they released.
See, I don't want microtransaction because usually when they have microtransactions in $60 games, they make the challenges really hard to the point you'll be mentally forced to buy it. That's why.
Every
Yeah.
free to game, every game. Oh, is it every free to play game? It's like a fucking advert when you're on. You know when you're on.
It's an
main menu.
interactive shop.
Yeah, it's just so.
That's
so
most
annoying.
games.
Yeah, it's like a casino as soon as you put it in,
Yeah.
and it just ruins like, just the whole UI is just tainted with just cosmetics and just
It's just shit.
Candy
Like,
crap.
join our
I don't like
Discord. Join our
free games. I don't
Discord.
play
Buy
games.
this. Buy that. It's just like
Yeah, they just keep like fucking demanding that you do certain things. It's like
Yeah,
just
it's like,
fuck off and let me play the game and have fun.
literally. Leave me alone.
Can't stand the battle pass.
Oh, I'm sick of battle passes.
Oh my god, it's so annoying. And also, why does card games have them in their $60 game too?
Because Activision are greedy.
Oh my
Scummy.
God.
What do you mean?
Microtransactions-
Halo's a $60 game.
well, the campaign is, but the multiplayer is.
Good idea to do that because I mean you raise the expectations for the campaign. If you add that fucking £60 price tag,
I
to
think
the
that's a really
campaign,
slimy thing to
blown
do, though.
away. Like you expect like an experience to be equivalent to like I don't know a fucking gangbang with like 50 beautiful women. You expect that experience.
And Bonnie Ross.
It has to be fucking fantastic. It needs to blow you away,
Like, for
literally.
real.
But it doesn't. It's underwhelming. It's probably worse than the average Ubisoft game.
Yeah.
the campaign
It's
was poorly put
possible.
together.
I'm not sure because I haven't played it recently, but it's possible. Counter-Strike Source has no microtransactions.
Destiny 1 didn't have microtransactions.
It did eventually.
No, that was Destiny 2.
No,
Yeah.
no. In Destiny 1, they did eventually add microtransactions. You could buy like emotes.
Oh
And they had,
god,
like,
no.
these,
I don't think so. That was Destiny 2, but you might be right because I stopped.
no,
playing
like
it
in
at
the.
time.
Did you play during the Rise of Iron DLC?
No.
Okay, well, you see, with that update, they added like these weird. Well, with the Taken King, I should say, they added emotes that you could buy, along with like these.
Okay,
armor
so Destiny didn't, and they added them after. That's
No problem.
Yeah,
It's just shit now, dude. They don't even finish games anymore. They just bring an update out for it.
and then they add the beta tag, split screen. Well, no, co-op beta, Forge
Yeah.
beta.
Literally, dude. They don't make full games.
But that's the
anymore.
10-year. That's the 10-year plan. You know, like we're currently,
The reality is that
building
Halo
the
just
game.
started development, and we're witnessing the development cycle.
Literally, fucking literally.
This game being a
What they
Ram
meant to say,
CC.
it will be finished in 10 years from now, and you'll see it progress from that point onwards. We've only
Yeah,
just
that-
started now. Here's what we've done so far. Now you can buy it. You brain dead consumer. It's how they behave.
So I like, I just love the old ones, Bungie, dude. The Bungies, I'm sure one of them were a stoner, you know, and like he like hidden like little like messages, you know, like when captain's typing in them numbers on screen, you know, when you meet him. I'm sure there's like some hidden messages there. 'Cause I'm sure one of them were a stoner.
Well, I mean, they would actually play the games together, like.
And
you'd
yeah,
see
exactly. But
footage of
they'd
them
have like a
playing
laugh
games.
doing it as well, like you know.
Yeah, they would make sure that they would experience like the game from the perspective of a player who'd want to have fun, not just
Literally, dude.
a developer.
All they talk about is competitive.
Yeah, yeah, just fuck
Like,
off! I
shut
want to
the
have
fuck
fun.
up. Literally. Fucking hell. Like Bungie actually had a laugh doing it. Like it seemed anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, I might be wrong, but I mean, the multiplayer was an afterthought for like just to host parties and have fun.
Yeah,
It was like
literally.
social interaction, and then they just built upon that onwards as technology sort of improved over time.
Is it worth for them to right now say we're going to shut down Team Slayer in Halo Infinite and just say we're refocusing what population we have on the game into Social Slayer? So anyone that stays playing will just stay in Social Slayer and just enjoy themselves
I personally
there.
think that 343 have done irreparable damage, and like Halo Infinite is just beyond salvation. Like,
Oh
it's
yeah,
just
yeah. I mean, what the point I was making before I got on here was that I thought Joseph Staten would logically be the person in line for the job, would have been offered the job, and if he had any sense in his head, would have refused the job from his
he was just
experience
a puppet
working,
in my eyes.
for Bungie. Because when he's working for Bungie,
He looks scared,
they had him
dude.
working on the story for Destiny, and he was a creative lead there. And then they said, we're going to change it, or we're going to make it so it's like more hub-like, more like Diablo. Because some guy came in from Diablo 3 saying this is how Diablo 3 works, and the head of the studio was like, oh, I like that better than what this was going to be, a single story, which is going to be like Halo 2. That's how it was originally going to be. And then they went off and said, no, let's chop it all up. So it all got chopped up and it all got made into a complete garbled mess. And his story got thrown aside and he got really pissed off. He's going to leave.
Well,
and they said, don't leave. It will look bad. We want you to stay around so that the game comes out and it doesn't look like you've, rat leaving a sinking ship. So he stayed around until the game came out. And then he left. So he's had that bad experience. And I don't think he wants to be running a studio. And I think he likes writing. He's written novels involving the Covenant and stuff. Yeah. So he will be writing stuff to do with the, I think he's done stuff to do with the RTS games. Yeah, he's written stories behind those. And then he's kind of helped with the story for Halo Infinite a bit. And then he's like, okay, when he gets tapped for the job, this is my imagination, he gets tapped for the job of leading the studio, and he's capable of doing it. He's the most experienced person there to do it. And he's the most, like, if they were going to instill confidence in the community, it would be Joseph Staten leading the studio. Everyone would go, sigh of relief. He's not even mentioned. Why? And it's because he said no.
Because he's not black.
No, it's not that. It's not because he's not black. It's because,
that's the real reason.
It's because he knows that it's a poison chalice. It's a poison chalice, and if he drinks from it, he's likely to get poisoned, isn't he?
Yeah, but
and he's thinking it could get saved by this black guy. Good luck to him. If he's going to pull it round, he might pull it round. But I'm not going to have it on my CV as the last thing I do in my career because it's going to look like don't give him anything important because he's going to fuck it up. And it isn't his whole responsibility to unfuck it because it was fucked up by loads of people ahead of him. He wasn't even there when it started.
Is he working on the MCC though?
That's what I saw.
He's working for Bungie, and then he gets pulled into this job at 343. And it's like
the new guy.
You're expecting. Yeah, he was working for that for a bit. Yeah. They were saying that there weren't that many people working on Halo MCC, were they? Did they say there were 3 or 5?
Hang on a minute. Joe Staten was working for Microsoft on another project before he got moved to 343. Yeah. So that was like 2014, 2015 when he moved to Microsoft. And then he brought in on Halo when fucking Split Screen got fucking booted out.
Yeah, he's been working for them for a while.
Yeah, he did make like some short stories. I think he made one for the Shipmaster in a book. I think it was called Halo Fractures, and he talks about like the Shipmaster chasing after the remaining like alien race for the Prophets. So he's been there for a while. I just personally think he got the job
in 2016,
so that he could be.
something like that.
I thought they just brought him in because they were in the shit, and they were like, "Who can we get?"
Yeah,
Joe Staten works for us.
I just saw
Maybe
it
he
as them
can help.
getting like a puppet that could be recognized by the fan base and then used as a scapegoat.
Desperation.
A mascot. A mascot. That's what he is.
And then he was used as a scapegoat for when it was all just going down the shitter.
Oh, I don't think he wants to be the scapegoat. That's the whole point I'm making.
You can't come out and say, "Oh, we're
Too late
delaying
for that.
co-op." We're
I think
delaying
they're
co-op.
lining him up to be the sacrificial lamb and say, like, it's all on you, Joe.
Well, Bonnie Ross is gone now, so
Yeah, but they
She
can't.
did a sneaky one.
If they were to shut down the studio with her as the head, that would make it seem really bad because they were like closing down the studio run by a woman. So they don't want that on there.
well, now it's run by a black guy. That's even worse.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to stop them.
I think he's going to do a good job.
It really gets fucked up further than it is
And
already.
when he transitions to be a woman in the next month or so, then it'd be
I made that joke already. I said, was he trans?
What?
In the chat earlier.
I don't know if he is trans.
Maybe he's a furry. I mean, they did say he was German.
There was
quite popular over there.
There was a bunch of trans people working on Gears of War. I know that for a fact.
The thing is, he's got
True
like
story.
22 years of experience, so he should be a good.
And
match.
7 of them were spent with EA.
Working on
Yeah,
FIFA.
I know.
That's going to have like some sort of negative influence on you. You can't
spent
deny.
he spent 17 of the 22 working on microtransaction games.
That's right. Yeah, Wilson boxes.
And then I'm sure, like I saw an article which said that he was, well, if you actually read his interview with 343, they say that he's working on the MCC.
I think,
Yeah. In 2018, yeah.
So he's going to work on the MCC. So
that means he hasn't been working on Halo Infinite, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, but at the same time, when Halo 2 launched on PC, like it just caused so many problems. You could just shoot at the ground and get a Kilimanjaro. Was he like involved with the development during that time frame?
Yeah.
What? Wait,
I mean,
are we talking about
when those games were paused on PC, they were all terrible at launch.
Yeah, well, he designed the system to do that. It was just in the article. It was about the intelligent delivery bullshit where the games come one by one. That was all put in for the PC bullshit. 2018 was when they announced Halo Reach in the PC version. That's literally when he got brought in. So he got brought in to do all that shit.
And the guy's name is Pierre.
Pierre.
Well, intelligent delivery, or smart delivery, or whatever it was, came out after the launch of the MCC, after it had bad netcode, after it was, I think it was 16 hours on the first day until I got a match.
But before it went to PC, that was my
Yeah,
point.
I mean, I played it for 16 hours. I was in a lobby waiting for a match for 16 hours.
That must have been a very fun experience.
Restarting my router, restarting the console, trying everything, couldn't get in. And I was just like, well, I don't know. I don't know what this guy's doing.
The game was all right about an hour before it came out. Because we got the game fucking early, me and my brother, and we were fucking playing. I thought, this is all right. And then a fucking hour later, when the servers kicked in and they got more people, it just fucking died. And I was like, well, that's it. Can't play now. Fucking game come out.
And then when I got a match, and it was a match on assembly, and it was 11 versus 2.
Oh, yeah, he had all that bullshit.
And I was like, okay, and I guess which side I was on.
The 2, definitely.
Yeah, of course.
It was always 5-on-3 in that game. It didn't make any sense. 4v4 lobby, but you end
You're
up
not
with 5
supposed to
versus
have
2.
as many as 11 people on one side.
Well,
it's supposed to be 6v6.
It's MCC, so it's fine.
Yeah, we're fully broke, wasn't it? It took them forever to like sort it out as
It
well.
doesn't work properly. I mean, because I actually wanted
took
to
him
play
6 years.
a Halo game with a friend, I went into Reach Firefight with him. Every time you board a Wraith, you get punished. Literally, you hear betrayal and you lose points when no one's near you. And then every time I launch the game on my PC, I have to change the resolution settings because they keep resetting, and my friend has to do the same.
Yeah,
because
no.
What do you mean? What do you mean? You board a Wraith
yeah,
and you get punished?
Right.
What
So you
happens?
know when you get points for, in firefight for getting kills or whatever. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
points
Yeah.
for kills in firefight. So when I board the wraith every time, like it literally happened every single time, I'd board the wraith, destroy it, and then I'd hear betrayal and lose points every time.
What the hell?
That's brilliant.
That game's full of bugs, man. I mean,
Yep.
still to this day. I mean,
I
Halo
can't
But
even-
C feels terrible on MCC. It feels ridiculously floaty, and your shots are just all over the place.
that is true.
I think the unlimited frame rate bug is still in the game.
mhm.
Well,
Not
I
sure,
don't
though.
remember the exact timeline, but what I recall from what I've read is that the game came out. Everyone knows how bad it was. Then they moved on eventually to Halo Infinite, and then what happened is they said we're going to have like a skunk works set of people who stay on MCC and fix it, and it's like 5 people, like hardly very many at all.
Feels like 5 people work
And
on it.
it was like, these are the people who are going to be left alone to sort out the remaining problems because we've now done with that. We've done as much as we can to fix it, and we're now on to the next thing. We can't waste any more time on MCC because it's not making us money.
Well, it is now because they're putting microtransactions in.
That's
Oh,
true. But this
yeah.
guy, this Pierre guy, might have been hired to do that job and be one of the 5. So he might not have been associated with the actual development of MCC itself at launch.
No, he won't have been because that's when he came in 2018.
Yeah,
That was in the article.
2018.
Yeah.
That's when they started to try and like salvage what was
So
left.
I'm
of
thinking he
MCC.
was from that phase where he was in a small team, and if he can bring his friends in from that team,
And
Oh,
fuck up the
it-
rest of Halo.
I mean, yeah, like
did
now we're
improve
seeing.
MCC. Did improve MCC from how it was.
I disagree. The only
They
thing,
I think
introduce
that's from
more
Microsoft,
glitches.
though.
Like they make one step and take another step back. That's
That's
what's
true.
been happening.
That's true. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's not as bad as it was at launch.
Yeah,
Does
you can
anyone else-
find matches now. We can all celebrate.
I can't find any matches, dude. Only thing I can play
Because
on
no one
MCC
plays it anymore,
is
really.
custom games.
Oh, it's because we're EU servers. That's why. Most of the
And-
servers are in East US.
And I've tried everything, man. I've tried it all. But if I join someone else's game, and they search, like they host it, I can find matches. I just cannot find anything. It's like I'm shadow banned or something. I don't have a fucking
Maybe.
clue.
I mean,
I
I've
don't know
heard
what.
shit, like with Sam, one of the community moderators. She's been doxing people who she disagrees with over like the Discord servers. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like she goes out of her way to look at your profile and all of your personal information every time she disagrees with you. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if like you've made the wrong comment somewhere on a forum and like someone said, you know what, fuck you in particular, you're not allowed to play the games anymore unless you join one of
Probably.
your friends.
I'm always fucking saying shit to people. So probably.
Yeah, I think so.
I miss that shit. I miss being able to argue with people over
I know,
games.
it's
That's how
like-
you made friends. Like you would argue, call each other random fucking insults, and they'd be like, "You want to play some games afterwards?" And be like, "Yeah."
Literally,
you go.
dude. Literally.
Yeah, they took out that social space from Halo as well. So I mean, there's
Yeah.
no more like party up systems.
Yeah, party up. That was brilliant.
You
that
can't
were.
vote for maps no more. It's just the focus is on competitive, like you said earlier.
And cosmetics.
Yeah,
Well, the
it's-
point
it's
I
like-
made,
Question.
it's a real antisocial environment they've created.
Yeah. It's like as if they're all a bunch of autists who didn't have any friends when they were growing up. So they decided
Yeah.
to recreate that experience for everyone else because they're so fucking miserable.
Yeah,
the
and
point,
the team
point
actually came out and said that. Sorry, go on.
Oh, well, the point I made in my video, which came out like years and years ago, because I was talking about Halo 6 and what I thought they could do for Halo 6, and then I retitled it Halo Infinite. And I was
Okay.
like, I had it all mapped out of all they could do with the plot and all they could do with matchmaking and everything. And then
fuck this up.
with the thing with the MCC, the problem with the MCC, because I was saying what was wrong with it, is I said that you can't put every game from the collection into one collection and say, let's have all the game modes, all the game titles, and you go into it. It's a hierarchical thing where you say, oh, I'm going to play some of the Halo 2, and then I'm going to play, Team Objective or something. Because you just think about that tree and how many branches are on that tree. It's like one
Yeah,
branch,
you can't get them all on there.
and then
but-
branches off
Yeah,
that for
it's
the
just a
game type.
massive clusterfuck.
right?
at the moment.
And you go into one and you're thinking, well, I'm going to have shotty snipers or something. And it's like, well, who else is here? And like, no one, because they're all in another one. So what you need to do is you need to say there needs to be like, Halo 3
right back.
Social Slayer or something, and just do that. Or you say Halo 2 Anniversary. You just have Halo 2 Anniversary Team Slayer is the only multiplayer mode in the MCC. And then the rest of it is going to be custom games. And then you go into custom games, you don't know what you're going to get, and it could be anything from any of the titles. And you're just happy to get it. And if people don't like it and they quit, then have some way that they can have new people join later. This system where they're like saying, "Oh, we're going to have people pick particularly what game they want." There wasn't the population to allow
there
that.
isn't.
Yeah.
No,
Because
Right,
everyone just
right.
plays Halo 3.
Yeah.
That's the
Well,
reality.
you've got
That's-
Halo 3 around at the time, so I was thinking, well, you've gone to the effort of making Halo 2 look nice with the anniversary update. You might as well
Oh,
make
no,
it
no,
Halo
no.
2, even though I
They-
prefer to have Halo 3 myself.
Yeah,
Halo
but
2
if
is
they
just Halo
remastered,
4.
if they remastered Halo 3, they'd ruin it.
Yeah,
Like
they
they
would.
Oh,
did
yeah,
with-
they would.
Did you see what they do to Halo CE?
That was just a Halo Reach asset flip.
It wasn't even that. It was
that was
worse. It
terrible.
was like
That was
they
terrible,
just
dude.
Oh,
They
and the
can-
models, like, yeah, it didn't translate well. So, like, you could shoot through objects because, like, the original graphics were different.
yeah, but it was just so how disconnected the visuals were from the classic
Far
visuals.
Oh, yeah, it was too
Dude.
bright as well. Like,
Terrible.
everything was so
Fucking
bright it would diminish and overshadow outshine literally your torch. There was no
Yeah.
point in using a torch.
Well, get this, dude. You know some of the new anniversary. You know, how, like you were saying, that it adds, like, they basically add different things onto like buildings or whatever what aren't actually there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So if you're playing a Pillar of Autumn, and you switch to new graphics, you'll notice you've got more beams across the ceiling.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
They actually, and then obviously when you press to original graphics and you jump up, them beams actually stop you.
No way.
They're not even there. They're not even there on on the original graphics.
Yeah.
The new graphics are stopping you.
That
It's
can't
just,
be right.
dude. Honestly, man, it does it. It fucking does. And you can walk out on the second mission as well on Halo. Do you know where that waterfall is?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Yeah,
So
everyone
you
knows
go-
it's
you go-
iconic.
Yeah. You go across them bridges. Them little small bridges. Well, one bridge, but there's another one underneath it. You know,
Right.
you know what I'm on about. And then if you switch to new graphics, the cliff is hanging over more, right? So if
Yeah,
you go back
yeah.
to original graphics, you can still walk out on thin air.
That's
It's-
stupid.
Yeah, dude, it just
All
doesn't
right.
work.
And then
Well,
they're like, other
they'd have to
issues,
do
like-
that, right? I'm not saying that they should have done that, but they have to do that. Otherwise, you get your head stuck in the beam. You jump up in the old graphics, hold down Y, and then you end up with the new graphics and the beams halfway through your head. Could you click?
I know,
through
but
scenery?
the new graphics shouldn't affect what's.
So you have to have a
original.
bounding box and an
Well, I
invisible
mean, you
wall
say that,
in the
but, like-
original to stop it. But the real solution is to not have the beam in the way anyway. You should
Well,
keep the architecture of the level
Oh,
as
yeah.
it was.
But like you were saying, you can say that, but half the time you can walk through things that aren't there anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
there's also an issue, like, if you continue with the same level you were talking about, you know how before you encounter Sergeant Johnson for this first time, there's like that sort of drop, and there are like these
Yeah.
two massive cliffs in front. Well, if you go in the original graphics, right, you can shoot through the side, but if
You
you
can.
go into the anniversary graphics, there's like, because it's so weird. So the cliff is, I think it was bigger. It's bigger in the original version, but if you go into anniversary graphics, they're smaller. So if you shoot ahead, there's a
Yeah,
barrier because
Yeah.
there's a model of the original cliff that was bigger in the original version.
Yeah. Dude, if you walk all the way around them cliffs, dude, there's some points where you can't even like walk to the wall, it seems, in new graphics. Because obviously in the original, the cliff is there.
Right.
But it's like
Yeah,
they dug
they
it
messed
out.
it.
So it's like, dude, it's just terrible.
Well-
They did a good job on Halo 2, I'll give them that.
Yeah.
But the campaign, the multiplayer were just Halo 4, and I don't like Halo 4.
I mean,
You were
yeah,
like-
it was basically like
It was
Halo
too dark, man. It just felt dark. I don't know what it were. It just felt dark and weird.
Well, there were too many Forge maps as well that were dark as fuck.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And Halo 5 was disgusting because I mean you had multiplayer maps which were just Forge maps.
Yep.
And it was like
People would exploit them. There were glitches that you could do.
Yeah.
So infection, like people would just last for hours. because I found this glitch where you could exit out the map because these aren't play-tested, proper fucking maps made by developers.
Yeah, I actually made a video on one issue I found was like, just if you notice when you're playing Halo Infinite in the campaign, and even in the multiplayer, it's like the water environments just suck. I mean, it's like, and in 343 I've had an issue with this since like Halo 4. It's like, if you look at Valhalla from Halo 3, right, you have like this beautiful like lake that kind of snakes its way through the map.
Yeah.
And then if you look at the Halo 4 version of Valhalla, it does a complete piss poor job of recreating that same kind of waterfall and the lake.
Yeah.
And when you look at Halo 5, when they try to remake Valhalla again, the water physics aren't even there because it's made in Forge World.
Oh, for
Yeah.
fuck's sake.
And then when you now look over to Halo Infinite, you can't even find much water environments because
I'm gonna say I've not played the campaign obviously, but I don't think I've ever.
well, the campaign, you're floating in the sky, and that compounds the ability to have flowing rivers. So you get these static like pools of water which don't even have like physics. It's just
I mean,
pathetic.
even the fucking maps in the campaign look unfinished. You have these really weird Forerunner like Lego blocks composed of like 70% of the environment.
Looks like Minecraft. Looks like
it looks like a launch title for the Xbox One, not the Series X, and that's why they shouldn't have launched it on the Xbox One. Like, you should have just moved on.
It's just wasted potential. That is.
It is bad, dude. Weren't they meant to have weather?
Yep.
Yeah,
Night
it's supposed
day
to
and
be
night
coming.
cycles too.
Delayed,
Supposed
delayed,
coming.
boys. It's coming.
Just love it. I still remember Hidden Experience going, "Oh, I can't wait for the silent shadow to chase after you during the night." It's like, yep, doesn't happen.
Yeah, you wait another year or so, we might get
Yeah,
that.
maybe in like 5 years or so when the game's maybe finished.
I don't know.
Yeah, that guy, he
the-
goes
the,
hard on
uh,
Halo, man.
The,
I mean,
Oh, he
uh,
just fucking wanks over the flood all the time. I hate him.
the
He
odd
does.
thing about those basalt, pillars, that like the Giant's Causeway in Ireland, and it's all over the map.
Oh, I know what you
like
mean, yeah.
hexagons, right?
yeah, but
The
those
number
are
of
like,
polygons needed to make them, you could easily take those same polygons and turn them into geometry for the hills.
Yeah, they just look like
And it's
Ford
like
objects.
it'd be less geometry, and it would just be like, oh, it's a hill with some grass on it, texture of a grass on it. So like, there's no win in having it be these things that make it look like it's been made out of Lego.
I mean, I
you know,
played it.
when.
Sorry.
Sorry, wait. I was gonna say, when you look at the campaign and you look at the way the world is built, it looks like it's been put together with Forge tools.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know what it is. It's just like how things just pop out. You get what I mean? It's like it doesn't look developer made,
Yeah.
and I think it's just so obvious at some points. It's like you haven't got like decent water physics. Your trees look static, like you just place them there.
Yeah.
It's just like things like that, the small things. You can really tell that this is a Rust project.
Oh, dude, it's so rushed. man.
Yeah.
The trees on multiplayer look like shit. Like,
I
It's
think
like-
Gran Turismo
I've seen better
4
trees on
PlayStation
Lego
has even
games.
Better trees.
It's like I'm starting to see how it took them 7 years. Maybe they were just putting trees in Forge World.
They're all having like debates on where to put the trees.
You get what I mean? Yeah.
Like they just had this massive fucking round table that they all congregated around. Like, oh, let's put a tree here.
And these shits anyway.
If you look at it, it shouldn't take this long to build a world, because I mean, if you look at like games like Battlefield, right, you got these massive open multiplayer maps, right, and it's like they use like way better technology to put these together, like
they use like
photogrammetry,
photorealistic or something. didn't
yeah,
they?
like
things
lidar
like film
scanning,
and that.
things like that. And it's just like, how the flip are you building your worlds in Halo Infinite with Forge tools?
Forge tools.
It's just ridiculous, man.
Halo 3 Forge.
Yeah. I think what annoys me most is just like how little variation there is in the environments. Like I played the game for a few hours on Game Pass, right? And like you can summarize all of the environments as Windows XP field, Forerunner cave, and banished fucking facility. There you go.
Yeah.
Those are the
Yeah.
3 environments you constantly enter and exit from. Like,
But even-
look at Halo C. You start in like the ship of the. You start in the Pillar of
Literally,
Autumn.
dude.
You go
Literally,
in,
it's different every map.
go through forest environments, snowy environments, a fucking island that's like kind of tropical themed. Like, there's so much variation in that game by comparison.
It is.
And even like the places you revisit, they still try and like change the way it looked so it didn't feel the same every time you went through it again.
It was brilliant, dude. I also love that bit. It were on I think it's 2 betrayals. You do a sort in the control room backwards, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
they did that quite a lot.
It's where where Flood and Covenant are fighting on the mills after you come out of cave.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fucking brilliant, that bit. That is brilliant. It's got a rate tune on it and all. Is it Undercover at Night or something?
I think
You see,
so.
the thing
yeah.
is,
They
the
should have
thing
hired
is,
Martin O'Donnell for this game. Why the fuck did they hire the God of War like composer? Like, that's for a completely different platform. Why not just
Yeah.
hire the person who's like literally behind the music of Halo and what made it
yeah,
Literally,
popular?
I got so
dude,
much respect for
He's
Marty
behind
and
more than that,
yeah,
He's
Sam.
behind more than that. He wanted to get involved with everything because he wanted to know, like, where's this map going? Because obviously I want to
Yeah.
make music, what's going to match. You know what I mean? He got involved with
Yeah, he was
everything.
behind the sound design as well, I think. So he needed to
Everything,
know
dude.
where he needed to know every moment so that he could like decide what kind of
Literally.
music would play in that given
Yeah,
moment.
but even the soundtrack for this game is mediocre at best
Yep.
because they tried to just copy what's already been done, and even then it's just a leitmotif of just the original score, and it's just corny, you know.
They didn't even ask Marty O'Donnell or
Yeah,
anything.
he kept
Nah.
saying, "Oh, I'm open to working for 343. I'm just waiting for an offer," and he just never got it. It's like,
Yeah, they
Yeah,
never-
that's
what
because
are you doing? Come on!
they
Like, he's
didn't
probably
want
gonna
to.
die before they even give him an opportunity to work. Like, he's quite old now, but he's
Yeah,
so
they-
fucking experienced. It's just like
Yeah.
it's a golden opportunity, and you're saying, "Oh, fuck off, we don't want that." No,
It's
I know,
ridiculous.
Didn't they
Yeah.
like make life so much harder for themselves because they redid
Yes.
the whole music when they could have just asked Marty O'Donnell and he could have sent them stems or something
Exactly. Yeah. Another year of development right there.
Mm.
And I'm
just
not
Someone
sure
just
what
put here they won't hire Marty because Marty has a fighting spirit and they try when they try to change something.
All
So
right,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's-
I heard he is quite difficult to work with, but even then, like, I still would have, I would have hoped. Well, I would wanted
Well, it's
him to
because he
work.
knows what he's doing, and
Yeah.
they need yes men in there, you know.
Correct.
Yeah, they don't want like, they don't want someone who's
Yeah.
gonna fucking fight back, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. If you talk back, that's too much for them.
Yep,
That's too much for the female leadership in 343.
Yeah, yeah, they don't want any toxic masculinity. Someone who can stand up for himself, basically.
Nope.
Yeah.
Right, shall we call that a night, boys? It's 3.5 hours. That was.
Yeah.
Literally
Almost
just
about 4
about to
hours.
say the same, dude. I was just about to say love you and leave you because
Yeah, but no.
That's good.
Thanks for all coming on. I thought it was very really interesting at the end there. We've got some fucking actual Halo fans in here, not fucking idiots.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like as if we'll ever be hired.
I know, fuck me, dude. Far from it.
I thought we were quite positive about the new guy, and we made some constructive suggestions.
Yeah, I thought. So he's got
We
some.
can't be slammed by other channels for like be haters.
No, we're just happy Bonner Ross has been fired, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I was so happy when I heard that information. I was just like, oh fuck yes.
Yeah, I
wait
opened a
and
bottle
see,
of
man.
wine.
I won't go that far, but yeah.
Champagne's out for Bonnie Ross's removal.
Oh, I don't drink champagne. That's too rich for me.
Right, I'll see you in a bit then, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting the broadcast. Anyone got anything else to say quickly? Was it? I'm going to count down.
Have a lovely day
Bye.
to everyone who listened, even if you hate us.
Yeah.
For some people.
Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
man. Shout out
you-
to you guys, man. I mean, I've been watching GLLX for a couple months now. I mean,
I've been watching
his
for-
stuff is funny, man. I mean, the way he just rages out certain guys and stuff is just really funny.
Yeah, well, he just talks the fucking truth, really, dude. That's why.
Yeah.
It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks,
Anyway.
guys.
Right,
Alright,
take it
see you
easy,
guys.
boys.
On.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. See you
Bye.
later.
See you in a bit, man.